Welcome. My name is Ketchup, and I'm joined down under the stairs downstairs by Mustard because we're at home today, and this is the Injustice 2 Pro Series. Oh my God, sorry, I'm actually pause the stream. That really messed me up. I didn't realize I had the stream pause. This is already going off swimmingly. This is the Injustice 2 Pro Series presented by Samsung and Simple Mobile, and this is, of course, the online composition of the EU Cup. Hi, Mustard, are you there? Say hello.
I am indeed, and I must say it's really weird not being next to you on the desk for this, but doing the same thing. But isn't that the world of these online cups from home? But of course, that doesn't change the fact that we do have some incredible players lined up to what is going to be a very important tournament. I think before we even start with gameplay, which we do have ready to go shortly, this is a crucial tournament for points for specific players in the European region. Players that did well at versus fighting, or maybe did better than they were expecting at other events. Or even Vianality itself as a whole. Vianality was there for the points. All these guys were there. A lot of these guys were top 8. They got really far, like specifically Irish Mantis, Happy Pal. Dizzy has been entering tournaments all over the world at this point and has been looking for those really important kind of big breakthrough moments and can maybe find his way into the finals through success in this tournament. And I do believe that Irish Mantis is going to be our first game against Dalfinate. So we'll see whether he can start strong or whether he's going to be, I suppose, struggling early. But I've got a good feeling about him today.
Yeah, talking about struggling early, though, that's the thing I've been thinking about. If Dalfinate still plays the character we have always known him as playing, it's actually Swamp Thing. This is a pretty favorable matchup that Dalfinate finds himself in early on, because Swamp Thing versus Atrocitus is not a good matchup for Atrocitus. Swamp Thing has some actual unique things that he can punish, which a lot of other characters can't do. It kind of lies within, I believe it lies within Atrocitus, either his straight breath or his general forward 2-2 mix-up, where normally he would use straight breath to be safe. Swamp Thing can actually blow that up for free. There was a similar matchup that Mantis found himself in Combo Breaker. It's when he fought, well, obviously not Forever King Jr., Burrito Voorhees, and the man of many names. And that matchup was always hard every time he mentioned it. But I do think we're actually going straight in. Dalfinate's still going in with Swamp Thing. He's always kind of favored those giant grapplers. He played Jason in Mortal Kombat X. He's always played Swamp Thing in this game. So we'll basically see what he does.
Well, but it's one of those matchups that one of the real matchup changes is the fact that Swamp Thing's crouch makes him go so low to the ground that he can actually crouch breath in a lot of situations that it's supposed to be in mid. So it becomes a lot more dangerous for Atrocitus to get you blocking anything. But then again, Mantis, he knows that. He's going to be ready for the matchup. Dalfinate, of course, we've been saying has been playing Swamp Thing for a long time, so I'm expecting a nice clean start to this. Of course, Irish Man is already blocking low, knowing that popular start for Swamp Thing, that sweep. But again, they get tagged by the second one. Mantis catching that raw puddle. That's going to be important data. If you're getting hit by puddles early on in a 3 out of 5, then Mantis is going to get a lot of breathing room.
Yeah, for sure. You've got to watch out on those whiff punish. They both have sort of pretty long range buttons. I think Swamp Thing kind of has like slightly better grounded buttons in terms of like, the forward 2 and everything else. That said, I wonder if we're going to see why this matchup is actually so tricky. Those unique options that Swamp Thing has for this mix-up specifically right here. We didn't see the answer used instead of going in for the mix-up. We saw Dalfinate push block. Obviously, that's a really, really popular thing. In this matchup, obviously getting rid of Dexter. Man, it's having a good lead.
And that right there is one of those examples that whenever Irish Mantis is going to go for that breath on block, chances are Dalfinate is going to be able to just crouch under it and Mantis is going to be punished. Dalfinate goes for a combo there, but just misses the ending. Oh, wow.
It's a good start for Mantis, to be fair. Oh my God, speaking of which, that's why I think those long-range grabs, you have to watch out for them, because it will shut down both the Dexter cool and the puddle, because there's quite a large amount of start from both of them, but he's still going to be able to pick that one up. And we'll basically see what happens here. I think Mantis, even though this isn't an amazing matchup, I still favor Mantis through tournament experience. Dalfinate had been playing a lot in the ESL Community Cups back in the Mortal Kombat X days. He didn't really have many opportunities to compete after that. Dalfinate doesn't come from a part of the world where there's lots of tournaments to play in, so he kind of has to go through online. This is definitely his bread and butter of competition, but I think Mantis is just going to be a lot more experienced here.
Well, regardless, Mantis is back to the wall, so he hasn't got a huge amount of space. He's running out of Dexter trait here. We're going to get some off of it, and another push block. I like how Delphinate, he's opting to push block every time. He doesn't mind trading off that bar just to get rid of that trait, which is so important for Atrocitus. Now Mantis now has 4 bars, walks straight into the forward 2. That was a important clash.
Now, instead of going for the crouch to try and punish, we are seeing Delphinate consistently go for the push block anyway. I think even though he has those options to shut down one of Atrocitus mix-up games, he still kind of favors spending a bar to just get rid of it, which, you know, that's going to be a player preference thing. If you just don't want to hold a mix-up, by all means.
Oh wow, speaking of which though, Mantis is going to get the fuzzy into that meter burn breath. Background bounce, Atrocitus. Really important to get those background bounces when you don't have the cat ready at the time, so it does give you an incredible damage extension. Oh wow, there we go again. Mantis trying to keep it unclashable, doesn't want to give Delphinate the chance to get health back, because look at all that bar. If Delphinate can clash, he's going to get a ton of life back.
But now Mantis has to be careful, because Swamp Thing hits really hard, doesn't confirm the back 2-3, because again, he wants to keep things unclashable, doesn't want to commit to a button down one. Things are dangerous now, though, because Delphinate can heal in this situation. It's going to be deceivingly hard to kill him here. And I wonder, this actually is the opening. Brave stuff, doesn't confirm into a full combo. That could have actually been the game, but Delphinate dialing it in instead. And that was an amazing read. Mantis knew, he knew right there, that off the first forward 2, Delphinate basically must have gone, hey, I've got all of this meter, I'm just going to let myself get hit and hold forward. The second he held forward, Mantis knew it, went for a meter burn back 3, and he walked right into it. That was a fantastic read.
But you can see how difficult it was for Mantis towards the end of that game, though. Like you said, you know, it's not just a clash that Swamp Thing was able to get health back from at the end, right? Whenever you land that green thumb, you get a deceiving amount of health back per chunk if you're going to spend the bar for it. And he also had the clash, so anything that Mantis had to do was like a single attack at a time, trying to chip him down. And Atrocitus without trait struggles to do that quite a lot. And Mantis found himself, and at the time, back to the wall. That was actually quite a tough situation for him to fight out of, but was able to get the game anyway. And there we go, the big call out Mantis. He knew that Delphinate was going to stick a button out there. Just kind of caught the weird axis there, so couldn't quite get the background bounce.
By the way, guys, just letting you know, real quick, we will be turning the music on after the series on the match, so we'll be fixing that. But just for now, we'll let the guys play it out. We don't want to kind of shut the King of the Hill down while they're in the middle of their tournament match, but afterwards we'll fix it.
Of course. Whilst obviously the music is great for the broadcast, the players aren't really going to be minding about that right now. I'll just let them play it out.
Hey man, Mantis needs these points, do you know what I'm saying? Like, Mantis needs these points badly, so we'll not take him out of his flow. Goes in for Dexter. I actually like the awareness, letting the grab whiff and then using the minus frames to guarantee Dexter. A very popular thing with Atrocitus, just acknowledging when they're minus enough that you should be able to get Dexter for free. A lot of game sense.
I'm a bit concerned about the amount of combos that Mantis is dropping right now, because he does have a big life lead, but he's dropping a lot of, I don't want to say simple confirms, but stuff that we're definitely not used to seeing him drop. You know, Atrocitus, when played optimally, is quite an execution-heavy character. As soon as you're, you know, taking those optimized trait stuff into account, which we know that Mantis can do, but if he's dropping the basic combos, then I would like to see him kind of neaten it up into the rest of the set. Otherwise, Delphinate's going to run away with it, because he was in the lead, but this isn't a huge lead to have now.
I feel like sometimes Atrocitus is, as an execution character, he's very much a character you kind of need to warm up with. And this is Mantis' first game of the day. Obviously, I no doubt he's been sitting at home in training mode before this tournament. But the second the tournament begins, you know, those first games, they can definitely have a kind of effect. That should be a 1-1-1 into Dexter, guarantees because of the knockdown. And there we go. This is the Mantis stuff that he really likes to do. He loves going in for the Siphon. He's going to get unclashable forward 3. He's going to both drain the health and get a little bit back. And this is a really horrible setup to be on the receiving end of.
Delphinate resorting to the wake-up green thumb there, knowing that Mantis was likely just going to actually block the normal wake-up, and thus we get hit by a command grab. It isn't going to matter. Oh wow, Mantis dropping I actually think maybe he was baiting the air tech.
Yeah,
he didn't go
charged.
For the forward 3 straight away.
He charged the forward 3 because he expected Delphinate to do upwards air tech, and he actually would have punished it on reaction. I'm actually surprised Delphinate didn't tech there. I wonder if that was like a read upon a read.
I know you're going to bait my air tech, so I'm not going to air tech.
So it just looks like you didn't try an air tech at all.
Maybe, but that's what we're going to see at this kind of level of play, right? Like both players are going to be aware about that. It's such a common thing for Atrocitus players to do, you know, because typically speaking, when you go for the blood puddle and you meter burn it and you go for the back 3, if you air tech that at the right time, you can actually full combo punish him. So it's something that Atrocitus players need to be aware of, right? That at certain points in his basic B&Bs, he is fully punishable, and Delphinate's going to know that, but Mantis is going to know that Delphinate's going to know that, and and here we are. Regardless, it is going to be a 2-0 lead for Irish Madness as he's looking one game away from moving on in this online bracket. Delphinate definitely back against the wall now. Oh, big whiff, and that's going to be an easy combo for Irish Madness. Going to spend that first bar without a problem as he go for, delay into the cat.
Delay into cat is just one of those things, right? If you feel like the time is right to go for the call, if you've kind of like scoped out how they approach, it doesn't need to be too bad.
Because that wake up connecting from that far away is quite a surprise. The Delphinate finds an opportunity, does have the meter advantage now. Oh, and there's the punish. Decent amount of damage. I think he's just barely taking the life lead, but not by much. And just as I can say that, even Stevens once again. Oh, the unblockable interactable doing that damage.
Just not watching his feet, man. That thing about Atrocitus is, he feels like, even though it's not really that Delphinate got caught not blocking low, it's that he tried to move right as the puddle came out. You know, it really kind of like sticks you on a grid, and then when Dexter comes out, it just gets a whole lot worse. We haven't really seen some of the stuff that makes this matchup, like you guys wouldn't, if I told you right now this is a bad matchup for Atrocitus, you wouldn't have believed it. Because it's one of those matchups, I think, that you need to really know the intricacies of making it difficult to make it difficult. It's not one of those easy fixes. I'm just wondering how much experience at this level against an Atrocitus like Madness Delphinate actually has.
Well, regardless, he is going to even things out quite comfortably now. And like he's not finishing that string, really just trying to challenge in the footsie range, but not committing to too much, and a nice whiff punish. Yeah, meter burns for huge damage. Oh, tries to go for another one, a little bit too cheeky. It does give Mantis a free trait summon. Oh, but he drops the combo again. Mantis giving Delphinate a lifeline here. There's no interactables in this corner to get him out. If Delphinate can play this corner properly, this will be difficult for Mantis. Oh, or just a raw green thumb.
Yep. Hey, if I know you're going to sit there and try and take my mid pressure, I'm going to go in for a command grab. And now he's spending one of his bits of resources on that meter burn breath. Active for basically a million years to us. That's such an amazing move. He's caught the catch. And even though the air tech came through, he still gets pressure. Goes in forward two into raw puddle. Hang on a minute. Tries to go for slightly optimized stuff there. You can go for the standing 3 into forward 1, I believe, but Manus doesn't have an amazing hit rate on that.
No, not at least in this set so far. Almost dead even on the life bar, but both players have the same bar, and they do have access to a clash. But actually, these are two characters that can deny a clash. If you've got 2 bars, you can confirm that bounce cancel.
Like right now.
Another one. That's going to be death! Maybe just that, yeah. Not close enough to kill, but he does have a good lead, and again, Delphinate! He has no choice but to air tech. Oh, he can't get too close. Siphon deactivates. Oh, I love the call out from Delphinate. I love the call out. The standing 1, knowing that Mantis was going to come in on the minus frames.
That was a really, really good check. Sometimes, even though you might be slightly minus in a situation,
he did damage.
You have more range. We opted to hurt him. Ah, and the back forward 1 says, you know what, mate? I know you've gone for damage, but nah. That was a hard read. You know, Madness, all Delphinate had to do, like, it's easy for us to say that, but all Delphinate had to do in that situation was knock him down from the clash and then duck. That was it. But that's a hard read. That was very much when you're both so weak, you have to make like the hardest of hard reads and just go for something outright. You know, you can't have a backup plan. It's, I think you're going to do this, so I'm going to do that. Unfortunately for Delphinate, his decision just wasn't the right one. But very easily, Madness could have just, Madness basically could have done nothing there. And if it had gone in for pressure, then Madness would have taken chip damage. He had the chance of taking more plus frames, may have taken a tick grab. Maybe the read was, I think Madness is going to sit there and respect it, so I'm going to run in and try and green thumb again. There was lots of different things going on there that he could have done, and Madness just made the right decision.
Well, it's also when you find yourself in the situation where, even after making a great read like that, at the end there from Delphinate, you find yourself with like that magic pixel. And there are certain characters in this game that, I don't want to say they have guaranteed damage, because obviously nothing is 100% like guaranteed unless it's a combo, right? Yeah. But still, strictly speaking, there are some characters that even if you're full screen from the opponent, avoiding any kind of damage, like literally the magic pixel that the clash takes you down to if you take damage. I mean, some characters you can't avoid it, right? Anyone that has like a tracking special move, something that is really fast and hard to react to, certain projectiles can be seemingly, but Atrocitus is 100% one of those characters. The blood siphon for damage, the puddle for tracking, the trait for just anything, right? Like the plethora of options that Atrocitus has to just get you taking some degree of damage. That's such a win-win situation for Atrocitus to be in. That does mean that Irish Madness is going to be moving on forward in the bracket. We can quickly have a look at this pool and see what's going on. So we are moving on to Tekken Master versus Derpy by the looks of
I was about to say I can actually see Tekken Master in the lobby. It's actually kind of, I'm going to say, it feels kind of strange being back in this home environment. It feels like we're doing another one of our first best of tens, you know, where we just kind of have the players in the lobby, we're just sitting here chilling out. But right now, the stakes are so much higher, you know, and it's actually a real treat to kind of see it in action. You know, these online tournaments, they happen regularly, but very rarely do you kind of get to see everything that goes on behind the scenes with these players. And we have Tekken Master versus Derpy right now, which I think should be the matchup. Tekken Master, the man needs no introduction. You guys know who he is at this point. One of the absolute best players in the world. Plays top 4 at the Injustice 2 World Championship Finals last year during E-League. And today, he's always been known as a multi-character specialist. And I feel like last year it worked because Tekken Master has an amazing way of learning characters really, really quickly. That's not Derpy. No, this isn't Derpy. This is one of our admins, by the way. E-Boy is just an admin. Don't worry about it. But being able to pick up a character really quickly and being able to play a character a year in, I feel like it's going to be slightly different. You know, Tekken Master has some characters that he's always been really good with. He has a really good Green Arrow. He has a really good, the big one, you know, Atrocitus. He has a really, really good Brainiac. You know, there are some characters he's been playing for a huge amount of time. And then there are some characters like, I would say, like his Starfire, for instance, who is a really, really good character. And he's wonderful at playing top tier characters because the man knows how to win. But we have actually seen some of his current newer characters struggle a little bit in the IPS. So I wonder if throughout the course of this year, as we go later and later to the end, is this something that we see him change, or does he stick with his guns and just try and further refine the current top tiers that he plays?
I think we're going to have to wait and see what he brings to this tournament to really answer that question, because regardless of the characters that he chooses, I think one thing you cannot deny is that, you know, Tekken Master, he puts in the graft, right? He puts in the work, he puts in the effort, because even for this, right, the Middle East is not a region that is eligible to enter in these online cups. So what has he done? He's flown to somewhere that is, you know, he's flown to Turkey to play in this cup, just to enter this tournament, you know. And if that doesn't spell dedication, I don't know what does. But it is like you said, you know, Tekken Master had a very successful year 1 in Injustice 2. Year 2 has not been the same for him. I think there really is no other way of saying it. He's not a bad player by any means. He definitely hasn't lost his touch, but he's not clicking with the game the same way he did last time. The results just aren't there for him yet. But that's not to say that there isn't time. You know, Tekken Master, there's plenty of events left to go. There's the last chance qualifier. There's this online cup right here. Like there are still opportunities for players to get points. And I think if there's one person in this community that you know will travel to anything he can to get said points, it's going to be Tekken Master. That said, I am really interested to see what character he brings against Derpy, who will no doubt be bringing out Robin. I know Derpy has played a few characters over the time, a mixture of, you know, Robin, Black Adam, Superman, Deadshot in year 1, but Robin really has been his comfort zone.
Well, right here, he's gone in for Atom. We've seen Tekken Master go in for Atom before, and it's kind of been, I think you could definitely say hit or miss. But I believe that his Atom, back when he picked it, I'm pretty sure it was Vianality was when we saw him pick this character.
We've seen a bit of it. We've seen a little bit of Atom.
Is that a no pun intended? We've seen a little Atom. But
No.
Well, it is now. It is now. We're going to dedicate. But I feel like it was quite new back then. So between then and now, he's had some more time to grind. If you're really good at Injustice or another realm, you can pick up characters pretty fast. Tekken Master absolutely can. Derpy, one of those consistent UK players. He's played Robin since day 1. He plays a couple of characters, but Robin's definitely, you know, his main honcho. That's his main guy. This matchup, I don't know. I've got to be honest, I've actually never seen Derpy play this matchup before. I know he would have had some experience because this is a popular online character, is Atom. But Tekken Master, he's going to have a lot more experience in this kind of field.
Well, I do. I'm quite surprised to see, or kind of really looking to see what Robin can do against the Atom trait, because the trait really is what defines Atom overall. I know he's kind of a low-profiling monster and he's got quite an interesting neutral, but it is the trait that really makes him the most obnoxious character in the game to fight against, and Tekken Master's going to know that. However, so will Derpy. I know Tekken Master did lose to Hayate at Vianality quite convincingly to Robin, so it is a matchup that Tekken Master has lost just recently, but with the kind of player that Tekken Master is, you know it's 100% going to be the kind of matchup that he's going to be ready for at the next event. But Derpy's going to get a full punish on Tekken Master's trait coming out early, but unfortunately will drop the combo and he will lose the life bar for it. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing right there. Derpy tried to go for the corner repositioning, but dropped the combo. So, you know, losing the damage and losing the setup, losing the round because of it, that could have been a wonderful position for him, but yeah, I love that call from Tekken Master. The second he actually sees Robin's trait come forward, he answers back with his own trait immediately, taking those minus frames. The down 1-2 hit confirm. Again, dropping the basic combos
He should be able to get a confirm here. No meter burn.
Didn't spend the bar.
All right, I feel like Derpy's playing extremely nervous. He had 3 opportunities back-to-back to win the round for free. All he had to do was finish the basic combos we know he can do, and he dropped it every time.
As that delay wake up, Tekken Master calling out with the meter burn forward 3, but Derpy can go clean under it. Now, the thing is, Derpy, he's low on life, but this is Robin. All he needs is one good opening, and he's going to even it out. Robin does not shy away from the damage, but I like this. Tekken Master using this corner to his advantage here. I really like this.
It now means that, I mean, yeah, look at the damage. Robin can't actually, oh no. And the amount of damage he just took is like not even going to be fun, to be honest. Good block on the overhead. Risk calculation.
Oh, the crouch.
He kind of has to go in for the big risk. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this is not good. And he's going for single hits. Doesn't want to let him wager. This is not a good situation for Derpy. Derpy has to watch out. He gets hit by one thing significant now. He hasn't even got the opportunity to break anymore. And there's the jump 3. There we go.
So I like Derpy's approach to the matchup. I think he was playing around the trait really well. Obviously, Tekken Master was really mixing up the trait pressure. It wasn't kind of just going in, going ham. He was mixing up the instant overheads, the kind of, delaying each individual hit, going for the throws, which is what you want to see an Atom do at this level of play. But Derpy was doing a decent job defending against it. The main problem Derpy had there was execution. I feel like he dropped almost every combo in that match. And Robin's the kind of character that you want to get a hit, you want to get a combo, because he is, quite a... I don't want to say a setup-heavy character because it's very much kind of like the same setup most of the time. It's like a very stable thing. But the important thing is it really puts the opponent in a rough situation of, do I wake up to get past the Birdarang or do I not? And as someone like Atom that doesn't have the greatest kind of standing defensive options, I suppose, aside from like the low profiling, like he's not got the best options of getting out of plus frames traditionally. And that's something that Robin really kind of thrives on.
Exactly.
But you need to hit your combos to get that.
And when you drop those combos as well, you find yourself in a terrible position because Robin, when he drops his combos, his strings, when the end hit doesn't connect, he's very minus.
Especially the back 3. If it's the back 3 you drop, then you're there for a while.
Any combo that you drop with Robin is not a quick drop that you can kind of get one of those American resets from where you kind of just turn it into something else. Robin is like super negative. Like right there, if he were to drop that final hit, like Robin's kind of stuck there for a while. But there you go. Because he actually got the first hit and he landed the combo, look at the damage he got afterwards just from the setup alone.
Well, that's going to be a free combo for Tekken Master, but the trait is going to be spent in the process. There's that full screen. Robin, a very grounded character. Ooh, I think Derpy could have got a full combo had he gone for another string, but I don't think he was expecting that to connect. You see Tekken Master building space, trying to get that trait back.
And we know that Tekken Master, he's going to spend the entire time here trying to play that defensive game. Atom, a very sort of frustrating, low-profiling character, but he's got some really good zoning options. Those full-screen ground pounds that tracks. Obviously, a really good projectile that stuns on hit if you meter burn it on a good read. A full combo is going to come out from Tekken Master. And now he's going to get corner pressure. So we're going to get the drop into the stun. I think he went in for plus frames or pressure. I don't think Tekken Master was expecting that to hit at all.
No, definitely didn't seem it, but Tekken Master is going to fight back and get the first life bar after quite an early deficit. Oh, that jumping heavy, deceivingly strong. Misses the punish on the Assassin Strike. Oh, and there we go, the knowledge from Tekken Master.
Down 3 is going to make that miss. There should be a confirmed spender bar, and I like the end there from Derpy. Instead of going for a forward 3 or back 3, we go for the Assassin Strike. Guarantees corner repositioning, and he didn't need extra damage, so he just took the round. Very good stuff.
Oh, and there's the interrupt, Tekken Master finding it. Atom, one of the characters that gets quite a lot of mileage off of his down 1. We're seeing it there, Derpy forced to clash. Can't remember what the meter was off the top of my head. Yeah, Derpy's to be guaranteed to win if he wants. Yeah, Tekken Master. Atom really can't afford to be without bar, so not really too surprising to see him hold on to it and just let Derpy get some health back.
And now he's going for that frustrating ground pound game again. Instant low. That was actually surprising low that he got hit by, blocked, and then there's the overhead. I wonder if Tekken Master was just expecting, because the overhead is such a reactable mix-up, like he's not going to go for it, that's one of those things you kind of expect. Very even on life, but Tekken Master with the bar advantage and health. He gets clipped. Derpy's going to have to do a little bit of extra work here. Catches the down 1, but the down 1-2 whiffs. Already airborne. I've seen Derpy struggling to get that trait out in the neutral because the ground pound chewing up, but another push block from Derpy. Just Derpy denying him any of these trait shenanigans. But unfortunately, I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. I think he's taking so much damage, and right now, this is like unwinnable. I think this is an unwinnable situation. Derpy can't go near him. He can't do it. He's dead. Like, what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Derpy, unfortunately, was so weak. Tekken Master's back to the wall. Normally a good situation for the person that's being the aggressive player. But if you have no life and I've got damage over time right in front of me, like, come on, mate. I want you to go in.
Well, but that's going to give Tekamaster a 2-0 lead, which is exactly what he's going to be wanting at this point. Considering we have seen him lose to Robin players in the past quite convincingly. He's the kind of player that he's going to take those losses and he's not going to be content with them. He's going to look for options. In his case, usually, what character can I pick around it? Because he is a very counter-pick heavy player, and he always has been. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially in this game right now. Having an arsenal of characters that you can really just dip in and out of depending on the matchup is crucial. We even saw a lot of that at Evo, just over the last couple of weeks. So many players in the later stages of that tournament got there through using multiple characters, and of course Robin is something that he's struggled with, and now he seems to have found his answer. However, that said, it is 2-0 for sure, but Derpy still is very much in this, as that second game was super close.
I feel like we're at an age in this game where teams are vital. Not one character can win alone. We are seeing some specialists still make it through. Samij and Hayate, kind of like the two big ones you would think about. But the greatest success is coming from players that never pick themselves into a bad matchup. That's really the goal of Injustice 2, is never have to play in like a disadvantageous situation.
So that's going to be a combo from Derpy, and you're seeing the damage that Robin does, almost evening things out straight away with just one hit. The trait was used, still on the floor somewhere. There's the trait. Oh, Derpy. Opting to push block every time. So I feel like that's the payoff. Push block is the way of safely just saying, no, get this trait out of here. But blocking the whole thing and then punishing him for it is your reward for doing what is effectively the much more difficult option there. But Derpy is going for the safety and just push blocking every time.
Unfortunately, even though he's going for safety, he's still down and goes for the forward 3. That is pretty tight, to be fair. That forward 3 is a tight link. But as a Robin specialist, it's one of those things you got to make sure you never drop. You can get, it's more of like one of those, I believe the forward 3 covers air techs. So he kind of eyed up Tekamaster's 2 bars and went, hang on, I think he's going to try and air tech this one. But even if you made the right read, if you don't put yourself in that situation, you've just lost everything.
Yeah, Tekamaster is just one step ahead at this point. Derpy is just unable to open up in any way. Every single button that Tekamaster is pressing is connecting here, and Derpy is just slowly but surely losing all of this life in what could be this last match. And it's looking that way if we don't see things change. Derpy really trying to fight back, but again, one hit at a time. I mean, yeah, I think that's it. That's going to be it. Derpy held on to the clash for a later moment, but was never given the opportunity to use it, as Tekamaster's going to tidy things up 3-0 with this Atom. I will be honest, considering the last time we saw Tekamaster's Atom, it definitely looked like a character had kind of just picked up. In the space of a month, I think, maybe the last time we saw it off the top of my head. It was looking like a completely different character. It really goes to show how fast this man can pick up characters and get them ready for certain matchups.
But that really is the thing, right? Is that it's a testament to how quickly Tekamaster could learn compared to a lot of other players in the scene. That's why before this match, I was talking about how I'm a little bit worried that he's almost like playing too many characters right now, because we've always known how much he can play, and maybe he was spreading himself thin. At least for the time being, his Atom is still looking nice and crisp and ready for the rest of the tournament. Derpy, unfortunately, there's no getting around the fact that Derpy, in essence, kind of lost that game for himself. If he landed those openings and was able to finish his plate, Robin does some of the highest B&B damage in the game. He can hit for like 500 plus off essentially just regular buttons. You know what I mean? Like, not many characters can land a wayward hit and turn it into massive damage without things like trait. And Robin is actually one of those characters. If you drop those combos, though, you're not really able to really, I think, maximize the advantage that character has. And it's unfortunate, but that happens with Derpy. Derpy, sometimes he's on, sometimes he's off. And I feel like today, if he's facing the likes of Tekamaster, we know Derpy can get nervous in tournament as well. And I feel like in that series, Tekamaster just went in more prepared.
No, I would agree. But, with that in mind, I'm still looking forward to seeing more from Derpy in the future. He's been in the NetherRealm scene quite a lot from MKX to now, and he really has gone from strength to strength. He was that combo breaker, but the thing with Derpy is that he is an incredible player, but when the chips are down and it comes to tournament time, that's when he tends to struggle. I don't know if it's nerves or if it's kind of like him second guessing himself, but he doesn't play the way we know he's capable of all the time in tournament. And I feel like that's his biggest demon, right? If he can get past that hurdle and then, whatever isn't clicking clicks, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do when he's finally gotten past that barrier. And I feel like there's still time for him. And obviously, he's putting in the grind. He's been putting in mad hours on this game and has done well for himself and is regarded as an incredible player. He just hasn't had that break yet. And I'm looking forward to seeing when he can get it to work.
Well, we have plenty of time for that left to go. Just remember, guys, this is a double elimination tournament, so we actually have, some time for the guys to kind of continue to play and warm up a little bit more and get more familiar, I suppose, is one of those things that you can. So we can ask for is, even if you have a bad game, double elim kind of gives you that safety net. So in some ways, winner's bracket can sometimes be a wake-up call. So let's check the match queue and see if we have anything lined up. Do we have something taking place right now? We can see. Let me refresh the page and we'll have a look and see if we have anything good to go. If not, let's kind of collect on the European scene that we've been seeing. Europe's had a pretty decent year so far. I feel like Vianality was a big game changer for a lot of players because it was a combination of not a lot of North America going. Obviously, we actually, the only North American player was Katana Prime. We had 3 Canadians, and then we had Katana Prime as that 4th player that was out there. It was a big deal for the European scene because essentially other people that you're going to be competing against in points, if they're not in attendance, has a higher chance of you getting the higher end of the points, which kind of lets you kind of almost catch up to them at that stage. And Mantis came off the best in that exchange. Mantis was the highest placing European player in that tournament. The top 3 of that tournament was Hayate, Honeybee, and Biohazard. Obviously, Biohazard took that tournament, and Biohazard is funny, really. The Biohazard kind of has the highest success rate of other parts of the world players coming into European territory. That now is great stuff for Bio. And obviously, because he went to Australia as well and won a tournament out in Australia, I believe. But up next, we'll wait and see what the matchup is going to be. I'm going to give you some Happy Pal versus Trekker Master. Has that begun? That matchup is taking place. I can see it in the queue.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at the overall pools, right? Like we have some really good names in this tournament that I'm looking forward to seeing, and one of the players that I really want to, take a moment to talk about is Dubasic. Dubasic, the Russian Enchantress player that we saw send Honeybee to losers at Vianality. He ended up losing in the run back, but that was kind of his big breakout performance. Was, hey, this guy just sent Honeybee to losers bracket, and it was with Enchantress of all characters. Since then, he won Moscow Fighting Arena just recently, defeating Ed Napier in the finals, I believe. And of course, Dubasic is one of those players that he streams the game all the time. He's always playing, and it's always with Enchantress. So he really is a character specialist through and through. And it's interesting because he's a character specialist in a game that is seen to be quite counter pick heavy right now. I know not every player does that. Not every player, is necessarily a counter pick style. But we see a nice dynamic between them, and it really is how far can one character get you. And I know Dubasic is exactly the kind of player that will prove exactly how far an Enchantress player can go in a competitive environment. And I really hope we get the chance to see some gameplay of him today.
I hope so as well. She's really fun to watch, and a big part of that is because she's very tricky. To really optimize her, you need to have high execution, high knowledge too. Of kind of where you are on the screen. She has some really, really interesting conversions that require, sometimes background bounce. Sometimes it depends on obviously, the distance of trait and everything else. And it's not the kind of thing that everyone can do. Some characters in this game are actually pretty easy to pick up, and their basic combos are quite simple. It's just more like, use this button, use that button. Some characters aren't very complicated at all, which isn't against them. It's not one of those things. Some characters are just designed to be a bit more accessible. Enchantress, I always found, is like the opposite end of that spectrum. You have to have a real, I think, deep understanding of the game and a deep understanding of how to actually lab a character. She's like a lab monster's dream. We saw that when she came out. There were setups upon setups upon setups, and whilst she was a great lab monster character, I don't feel like many players were able to really come out of the woodwork and use her in a competitive setting with all of the setup stuff you need to have. And I feel like Dubasic is actually a lovely sort of combination of the two.
Yeah, I would agree. And no, he's not the only Russian representative in this bracket. Of course, we have Vladdy. We've got Ed Napier, I believe. Is Flet in these brackets, or did he not check in? I'm not sure off the top of my head, but we have, of course, got Mr. Kisnikov, Ed Napier, of course. Yep, Vladdy is here as well.
Seeing
And
a
of course,
large
we have
amount of
Dubik.
CIS players actually in this bracket is good.
No, I like it. I like seeing this, and this always makes me happy when we have these kind of online events, right? You know, through the various online programs the NRS community has had over the years, it's nice seeing the kind of returning players that have been there for a while that are still playing, mixed amongst the players that are new, newer to Injustice 2 overall, like AWP. We've got Orp here from Scotland ready to play, and whether we'll see games from him, I hope we will, but we'll have to wait and see. He's a younger player that dabbled in MKX casually, but has started competing in Injustice soon, is doing well for himself locally in the UK scene at the very least. But it's events like this that really give players like that the chance to show what they can do, that weren't really around too much last year, but they are now in 2018. I do believe this game is going to be ready to go very soon, as we have Happy Pal and Trekker Master. That player that we all knew as just a Twitter account that was just effectively just a troll account is now entering tournaments.
Yeah, but that's how
who is this guy?
That's how Goonie started. That's the thing. There are some
this
players.
Mysterious player.
There are some players out there that they're pretty trolly. They're not afraid to make a joke or two. But to be involved in the scene, they have to play the game, right? If you're one of those troll guys and you like having a laugh and you like messing around, you are involved in the scene because you play the game and you watch the tournaments. Whether you troll or not, you do watch the tournaments, right? So Trekker Master, surely he plays the game, and he's going to have his work out for him against the likes of Happy Pal, one of the best players in Europe. And Happy Pal, no stranger to playing online. He's played in quite a few online tournaments in the past, and even he was quite a regular attendee for our first attends that we used to do back in the YouTube days when we would do those sets before we became obnoxiously busy and couldn't do them anymore. He was right there.
We're not messing around. We're not messing around. They've hit their curses, both of them.
I mean, I'm sure Happy Pal, he needs the points. He's going to go Flash.
It's serious time.
He's going to go Flash. I refuse to believe that Happy Pal is not going to play the Flash. I don't know who Trekker Master's going to play, though.
I mean, I don't know. Happy Pal, he's known for the Flash, but he does play out other characters every now and then.
Green Arrow. Okay. And yeah, of course. Green Arrow versus Flash. Dude, Happy Pal's Flash is so crisp looking. He loves that blue color scheme.
He plays better when he's got it, I swear. It gives him the power he needs.
It's when they go back into tournament mode. In tournament, he makes loads of reverse 3. Do you remember Combo Breaker when Happy Pal had that insane... Didn't he beat Scar? Didn't he beat Samij? He beat some insane players. Obviously, he took out Darth Armor as well. And the second he got his blue color scheme, oh boy, it was over. Those reverse 3-0s were all over the place.
He's the kind of player that when he goes down 2 games, it's like he just activates the next level, Like something just clicks with him and he just realizes, uh-oh, I'm now 1 game away from losing this set. And then, bam, we see the craziness. Because Happy Pal is the kind of Flash player that he's so setup heavy. He is the swag master. He will... I think he really plays...
so good.
He plays for swag in a lot of situations that swag isn't necessary, but that's just the kind of player he is,
Can we hurry this up?
I also feel like... he doesn't do it anymore, but whenever Happy Pal plays online... My man likes his supers, and he likes them a lot. He will literally save meter in first attends just for supers.
But that's when it's a bit more casual. Now, of course, he's one of those players that really needs those IPS online points, for the leaderboard overall. Although, there we go. That's one thing we see Happy Pal do quite a lot, and is never afraid to pop that trait in the neutral just to get in,
I actually really like that catch on the standing string there because it hits really meaty. It chewed through Trekker Master's wake up clean. Yeah, unclashable. Don't bother going for a conversion. Keep the bar as well. Tries to interrupt the gap with down 2, but a little bit too slow. Trekker Master not ready for the conversion, though. That's unfortunate. I feel like I definitely rate Happy Pal more in this game. It should be his game to win, I think.
It should be.
He has to royally mess up here.
Yeah, Trekker Master's really going to have to just constantly... I mean, Green Arrow's the kind of player...
Wait, now he's got the super.
Yep.
Happy Pal, don't do it.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not going to react now. He's not going to react now because he hasn't got the health, and he knows that. But are we going to see it? Look at him. Oh, Happy Pal, stop messing around. Oh, no. Don't do it.
You can't press anything.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? He slowed down time, and you still did something.
But he did something that's slow even in normal speed.
Great fate, mate. I rate 88 out of 8.
That wasn't a bait. That was just
God.
that was like he walked himself to the gallows.
That was a, can I have the game, please? And Trekker Master goes, okay.
Oh, dearie me.
Whatever you say, Happy Pal. Whatever you say. I would like to move on to the next match.
We were just talking about how when he gets super, like that's the kind of player Happy Pal is. You know, he will. And I love the approach. You know, it's a bit different to be a bit more conservative with Bar than most Flash players, because the utility of the super, Flashes specifically is so good. It's armored, it's fast. It goes through so much, and it shuts down options. If you have full super as the Flash, your opponent can't throw projectiles, they can't do charges, they can't do slow buttons, they can't jump. They can't do anything. It shuts down so many options for you just having the bar. The last thing you want to do is a slow special when the Flash player has super ready.
On a serious note, though, that was a really horrible situation to be in.
Oh,
when you are a super away from death and the Speed Force is there, you had basically no choice but to sit there and let Happy Pal go in when time is slowed and he has a guaranteed 50-50 that in Speed Force, again, he's going to confirm. So it was the only way Trekker Master was going to survive that was to sit there and allow Happy Pal to run in and then take a guaranteed 50-50 that he had to block, but wouldn't have been able to punish because of Speed Force.
Speaking of
that
punish.
is a win-win. Oh, mixed up. Oh, mix up. Set up time, boys. Oh my God, this is so good. He's gonna die again. He's gonna, yep. Oh wow.
Happy Val just showing us some practice mode sequences right now. He's just putting on a clinic of the Flash swag that we can see him do. There we go. Trekker Master given opportunity, but doesn't confirm it into big damage. But he does at least get Happy Pal to full screen. But obviously this is Flash. There's only so long you can keep him out. Oh, I love the call out from Trekker Master. He knew that Happy Pal was too far away to actually get a punish. Happy Pal still showing the patience there. Trekker Master, he's blown 3 bars now and already built that third one back almost. So not looking too bad on the meter department. Oh, that's an easy punish.
I'm actually surprised. Trekker Master wasn't in a horrific position there. I'm surprised to see him take the risk. And now we're going to get... Oh,
what was that?
Clean. I don't know, but it would have been a cute combo. I think Happy Pal, I'm assuming that's one of those combos that would have been more guaranteed if Trekker Master was closer to the corner. What's he going to do now? Don't go for a wake up. Yeah, oh my God, the back one makes the forward 3 cross up. If he just sat there, obviously he would have been able to block it, but he would have had to take plus frames. And Happy Pal just keeps putting Trekker Master in a situation that's lose-lose. Sit there and take a mix-up, or fight it and get hit anyway. That's 2 games in a row. It's ended in a very similar fashion where it was not in his favor at all.
No, that was incredibly one-sided. I think. Oh, and here we go. Here's the fabled answer.
You're playing 2018 now, mate. You're playing 2018. You got to learn.
You know, in all seriousness, like this is. You know, you've got extreme rush down versus extreme keep away. If you are losing to a player that is rushing you down and getting in right in your face and you can't get them away, why not pick a character with great wake up options, great mobility, and keep away? You know, this pick makes complete sense. However, he does. For sure. He is betting the series on it though. That is the biggest problem he's going to have now, is he is 2-0 down. So this is going to have to be a 3-game sweep with this Starfire. Of course, she does get about 3 different wake-up attacks, though. You know, obviously she has the wake-up charge, the wake-up hair flip, and the wake-up down back 3. That kind of like, you know, spiral projectile. I feel like against a Flash, I do wonder if some of those wake-ups, because they start up so differently, I do wonder if some of these mix-ups with Flash won't be as guaranteed. The exception being the restand situations, but if she's just knocked down, I wonder if Happy Pal's going to have to do some slightly different variations to her setups, or whether her wake-ups will just catch him out. I think if it's possible, he's going to know it. I think it's that, especially when Starfire is as popular of a character as she is, it's definitely a matchup you have to be ready for, right? But even then, like, this isn't even a particularly bad matchup for Flash, you know? Like, it's not like this is particularly tough.
Completely underneath the trait with the running man, so that he has options, and obviously when he gets in, a 50-50 into high damage is a 50-50 into high damage. Happy Pal's going to be familiar with this matchup too. You're not going to be a high-level Injustice 2 player and say, man, I'd have won if I knew the Starfire matchup.
I will say though, Trekker Master actually looking a lot more comfortable now. Just in the neutral generally, it's not even just kind of the keep away, because most of the damage isn't coming from the keep away. It's Trekker Master kind of playing around the neutral a lot stronger. Then when that being said, another corner carrying combo from Happy Pal, but there's the wake up interactable from Trekker Master. Uses a bar for that little bit of damage just to get the life bar. I do agree with it.
Huge damage from that setup, and that's going to be, you know, the zoning versus rushdown argument that's always there. Lovely patience on the jump 3 as well with punishing it, but essentially it's you know, you have to do projectile after projectile, and yes, it's irritating and frustrating to deal with. However, in this matchup, you hit her once, and you do 50% damage into a guaranteed mix-up into 50-50. And there's the forward 3, gets the combo, back 3 just for a little bit of unclashable, and now he uses a clash a little bit too late, I will be honest. I think we should have seen a clash a little bit earlier.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. I think he had no choice but to spend at least 3 in that situation. Happy Pow was given the opportunity to not, because now Happy Pow, I mean, Trekker Master doesn't have a clash available, and Happy Pow almost has super. If he can just chip down Trekker Master a little bit, he's going to be in that super kill territory. And there's plenty of stuff to react to with super for sure, but he's not going to even bother. He's going to spend a bar, get some damage, keep the corner pressure going, puts himself in the corner. The block's on the overhead, but it won't be enough. Trekker Master, I mean, even air teching here is so slow. I mean, had to do it, right? Had to do it. If he didn't do it, he was dead. If he did it and Happy Pow was ready, which no reason he won't be ready, he's dead. That was a lose-lose situation for Trekker Master, and Happy Pow is going to be moving on 3-0 in confident fashion. This is the Happy Pow that we are used to seeing, and I'm happy to see this is what he's brought with him today.
That was actually 3-0 and 3 separate games where Happy Pow actually put him in the exact same situation. You know, those situations where you pretty much can't fight back, right? That's the way it works. Is the first game was I either super any button you press or you sit there and hold a 50-50. The second situation, I believe, was, oh God, what even was the situation? It was over the forward 3, right? The forward 3 on hit, it would have killed, and on block, it's plus, and you have to take chip, and you're almost dead anyway. And in the third situation, it was, I've got you in Speed Force, and the second I've hit you with this, it's guaranteed. Even if you try and air tech, you know, we all found out day 1 in Injustice 2, right, that when you try and air tech in the Speed Force, he'll still punish you because you can't move. But there, he had to try. Like, it's, if he doesn't air tech, he's dead.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Air tech and just hope that he messes it up. But there's no way he was going to.
Okay, well,
it's early on in the tournament, by the way, guys. So that's obviously why sometimes you get these slightly more, I guess, one-sided matches.
Ooh,
it's just
so actually
matter of seeding.
On the topic of upcoming games, we have quite a killer game coming up. We have Shark Teeth versus Dizzy TT. Now, this is going to be one to watch for sure. I think Shark Teeth and Dizzy are 2 of the players that are really kind of making a name for themselves in Injustice 2. Dizzy TT did well at Evo. Actually, both these players did well at Evo over the last couple of weeks. They're both at Venality. They both, off the top of my head, they both place kind of similarly. Like, they always make it out of pools. They always get relatively far after. But Dizzy TT is like the demon of ninth, right? Like, Dizzy, at the very least, he won versus fighting, which, you know, it was not an IPS event, but it was a UK tournament, and all the UK guys were there that are obviously still playing Injustice 2, and he was able to win that. And Shark Teeth is, you know, he is known as Tekken Master's training partner at the moment. You know, they're both NASA Esports, and Shark Teeth, he isn't known just for being Tekken Master's, you know, training buddy. He by himself now has, you know, some good merits to his name. You know, he's beaten some really strong opponents in tournament. You know, most notably Dragon, of course, the world champ. He's beat him in winners at Combat Breaker, and that was kind of his big, you know, heavy hitting tournament scalp, you could say. And he's used that momentum and has entered, you know, hella tournaments and is always there playing and is always there putting in the grind. And he's still playing Supergirl. And I think that is the most interesting thing about this, that Supergirl is a character that a lot of people have kind of dropped, moved on from. She's had a couple of adjustments and isn't as good as she used to be, but she's still solid in the hands of someone like Shark Teeth.
And I remember actually at Evo, we were talking, obviously we talked to Dizzy TT regularly, and he said, God, it's something like he did Rewind a huge favor, because I know one of the players Rewind was concerned about fighting was Buffalo, wasn't it, at Evo?
Yes.
He was concerned about fighting Buffalo because of they go back and forth online, I believe, or something along those lines. But then Dizzy TT and Rewind were training together before Evo to prepare each other for the matchups they were going to face in tournament, and obviously they inevitably fought each other in tournament. But to reach that point, Dizzy TT had to defeat Buffalo in what actually was a really good match. It was off stream. It was on at the same time as Han Rashid and Katana Prime at Evo on the stage. I was by the tournament setups actually watching Dizzy TT versus Buffalo, and it was a really sick match. It was basically Catwoman versus, I believe it was Catwoman versus Sub-Zero, and Dizzy looked really, really comfortable. I believe he practiced against Neptune or something along those lines. He was practicing against Sweet Neptune, Sub-Zero before. And then Buffalo made the switch to Michelangelo. And it looked like a matchup that Dizzy was nowhere near as comfortable in, because in that first game, he was getting hit by just anything and everything. And then obviously he pulled it back in the final game. Made
Michelangelo
a really
doesn't care about your defense. What are you talking about?
It was a great match. It was
he's a wild man. He's a radical guy. He just
he's not a man. He's a turtle.
You know what I
Pearl
mean?
Man.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
that's what I mean.
This matchup, we're expecting Supergirl versus Catwoman. This is a much more conventional Injustice 2 matchup. Dizzy, that is a sick-looking Catwoman. Oh my god, look at the gear, and look at Shark Teeth's NASA gear. Oh my god, these guys.
I respect these. I respect these customizations. Absolutely.
I have ultimate respect for these customizations. I give them both a 10 out of 10 for customizations.
But I'm looking forward to seeing how these players match up against each other though, because Dizzy he's kind of Foxy Grandpa's kind of like
protege.
Yeah, you know, he's kind of like his kind of protege. I guess that is the word. You know, he's been learning everything he can. He plays a very similar style. He just plays different characters. But of course, you have to remember that Foxy started off with Catwoman, and Dizzy has clearly been playing her the whole time. So this is one of the cleanest Catwomen, you will say.
I actually believe it was Dizzy's Catwoman that gave Foxy a whole bunch of matchup experience for when he would inevitably fight Samij at E-League last year. Dizzy was the main training partner of Foxy at the end of 2017. Shark Teeth, though, this is a matchup he's going to be comfortable in. But for now, kind of hard to call. Dizzy down on life, but I feel like, you know, he plays so clean and so disciplined. It's very easy for him to make a comeback. And I like Shark Teeth going in for the back 1-2-3, knowing that he's going to go for a backdash, chasing it down comfortably. Doesn't commit into Frost Breath, though. The back 1-2-3 had to catch it. And there's the neutral jump.
Oh, perfectly timed air tech from Shark Teeth to avoid the cat dash. Wasting a bar from Dizzy in the process also. So that was effectively trading 2 bars for 1 there. Great for Shark Teeth. Tries the anti-air, but moves out of the way of the jump in. Good stuff for Dizzy.
Nice, good trade. Full combo again. Cat dash. I think the slight delay on the cat dash. I wonder if he was expecting the air tech again. Ooh.
Yeah, Shark Teeth was ready for that setup as well. Dizzy tried some cute stuff, but Shark Teeth was not going to fall for it. Oh, the challenge on the plus frames also.
He was really late on that after the down 2. That was actually surprising to see, with punishing on the interactable as well. Shark Teeth gets the round, but I feel like he's very, very close to getting taken out. So any damage here is going to be bonus damage. We say that all the time. And there we go. Instant jump 1. Excellent stuff. Yeah, just for those that wonder, obviously Shark Teeth and Hecamaster both in the Middle East, but they have entered this online tournament from an eligible location. They've flown to that location actually just to play in this tournament. So a lot of dedication, but this IPS means a lot to them, and they basically take the measures necessary to make sure they can play in these events.
Indeed, Shark Teeth though going to get caught out there. That's be a meatless launch. We don't get a chance to see too much of that, but Dizzy ready with the hit confirm. Trying to break the wake up. Shark Teeth waking up with the full string, and Dizzy caught walking into it. It's going to hurt for sure. It's going to give Shark Teeth a corner of his own. Set up here. There's the delay, but the delay wake up from Dizzy also. Deal with any of it.
It means you can't really wake up. That's the thing, right? You can't really go for a wake up off a delay, but it does mean that you're kind of forced to take that Supergirl pressure as she gets up. No confirm on that down 1. Supergirl's down 1. Definitely not what it used to be. And wow, he tries to whiff punish, but walks into the back 1 anyway. That is surprising.
Yeah, definitely don't think Dizzy was expecting the whiff charge into buttons, but Shark Teeth, he knows the recovery. He knows he can get away with that. That's going to be a health regeneration from Dizzy.
But it's his only chance to do so. He has to be careful. Shark Teeth whiffing those charges. Oh, the cross up! That was so clean.
He doesn't have the bar to doesn't have the bar to clash. Probably not going to air tech at this point. The damage has been done already. Can need to save it for one more chance, perhaps. Oh, if he gets stunned by anything here. Wow, he gets the launch! Dizzy, the first wake up of the series.
I feel like Dizzy, I would very much compare Dizzy to like a Samij in terms of wake ups. They wake up, well, obviously, you know, not that one right there, but they wake up so rarely. When they finally do it, it's like 100% chance of landing, except for the one at the end, which was obviously used in panic.
Indeed, but I think that's the best way of playing a character like this. You know, like Catwoman. That's one of the adjustments she received a long time ago. Was her wake up is her only real wake up option now is, you know, the unsafe launcher. So it's, you know, if it works, the payout is great because you actually get a ton of damage from it. But if it's blocked, it's a full punish. So if you're playing a character like Catwoman that has so many options in the neutral, she's got the range, she's got damage, she's got meter, you know, conservation. Having a wake up is pretty good. You know, the fact that it's punishable shouldn't deter you from using it, like, you know, period. But you have to be careful. And Dizzy really kind of, I suppose, uses it just enough that it's a threat that you have to respect it, and you can't just, you know, go for Oki every time, but not too much that it becomes too obvious. I think that's the perfect blend.
Now, Dizzy has adapted before. He's made reverse 3-0s before. He's been on the back foot before. One game isn't going to phase him too much, but it does mean that I think, you know, in this winners bracket situation, the first game is always really important and kind of just showing, you know, how the rest of the series is going to go. How clean are they playing? How unsafe are they playing? Like, It's hard to really pinpoint. I think both of these guys are kind of really known for that clean play style, and they play two characters that complement that as well. Oh, no jump too. Could have been a full combo there, but didn't believe in it.
So I am expecting quite a slow-paced set here, and there's a perfect neutral jump from Dizzy, really calling out the string. Shark Teeth, she's going for the back one so often in the set, you know Dizzy's going to start really calling out in big, bold ways, just like that neutral jump. Oh!
Yeah, he got clipped by tons of them last time. You know, the back 1-2 that was just dialed into the breath in case. You know, a great amount of buffering there from Shark Teeth. And then just the back 1-2-3, which was either catching him outright or catching a backdash. And there is, again, the read. If I'm at back 1-2 range, it's because I want you to do it. The neutral jumper should chew it up. Now the ball's going to be in Shark Teeth's court to go, right, what do I do next? Now he's in this position. Do I start going for a jump? Do I expect it? Do I try and meet him in the air? Not his choice to make, because right now Dizzy is having a wonderful round.
Okay, that's going to be a clean life bar. Shark Teeth's still trying to. I mean, it's not like you can just not use the string anymore, right? It's still one of the best footsie options. Just because you get punished a few times doesn't mean you have to stop doing it altogether. Doesn't mean you have to be more careful. Regardless, he's going to get a nice hit here, a clean corner positioning. Ooh, it goes to the setup. But again, Dizzy, he knows. Delays wake up every time. Down one's into the trap, but ready for the anti-air. Shark Teeth not letting Dizzy get away with anything here. Goes to the setup again. This time Dizzy doesn't delay the wake up. He gets crossed up, but again that delayed down to Shark Teeth. He's trying to find answers to the neutral jump, but is yet to find it.
And there we go. Invincible for sure. It's actually a good option, a brave thing to go for it there, but with one hit left to go, it doesn't really matter. And with that little life, you can't try and meet your burn forward 3 through it, because it just won't work out. You'll die anyway. And now a wonderful change of momentum. Delays on the back 3, having to take the minus frames, and now Dizzy tries to go for the jump in, clipped by the instant jump. I think that's the turnaround, right? You know, Shark Teeth doesn't want to get neutral jumped for days, and now we're starting to do those instant jumps into lights. There's the read, instant backdash to make the wake up with, and it's knowledge. These guys have so much knowledge against the matchup.
So Shark Teeth will get a bar of life back here. That's going to even things out somewhat. Dizzy's still going to minorly have a lead, but he does have the full cat scratch, and I think that's what Shark Teeth's going to have to be watching out for here. Just going for those raw charges to try and beat those neutral jumps fast enough.
Yeah, it's good. It's a lot more active, right? The charge is so much more active. It recovers quicker. And this is a good turnaround. The full screen game, the anti-air jump 1. This was an adaptation. It's going to win the first round, but I feel like if Dizzy now doesn't change, it's going to lose him the final round.
So Shark Teeth, he is going to spend his only bar there to tie the clash. The problem is here, he's really limited his damage. Catwoman doesn't need bar to open up, but it does help. Whereas without bar, Supergirl really does struggle. Delay wake up. Ball, plus frames. Oh no. Just go straight for it.
Unblockable! The environment says hello.
I mean, Shark Teeth, I like the way Shark Teeth saved that. He had so long to use that interactable, but saved it for a rainy day. The chip! Oh, and there it is. I think that must have been a neutral jump read from Shark Teeth. It had to be a neutral jump read, because Dizzy was doing it so often. And that was his answer, those instant jump normals to catch those preemptively, those neutral jumps from Dizzy. And Shark Teeth bet it all on that final read, but Dizzy jumping back just to keep himself safe, and that will tie things up to 1-1. As I was saying before, I like the way Shark Teeth spent a lot of that game with his back to that corner and could have used that interactable at any time, but he saved it. You know, he realized the time wasn't right, used it later on when the unblockable damage is more useful, and that's when we saw it used. That's the kind of conservation that we need to see from players with interactables that you can only use a single time.
Also, at the end there, you know Dizzy was eyeing up that trait meter. The second Supergirl got her trait and she could go for, like, you know, the full burst, the meter burn shot, that pretty much would have done enough damage to, I believe, chip out Dizzy. And on hit, he would have got juggled into it as well. So I think his goal was, I need to hit Shark Teeth now, and I need to hit him before he gets the opportunity to use that big trait. Tekken Master and Happy Pal have not fought. It was Trekker Master, which is a different account. Happy Pal won that 3-0.
Okay, going into game number 3 now. Looks like Dizzy was able to take the first hit at least, which is going to be great for him. I like the way Shark Teeth is playing this full screen game. Normally you have to be quite careful doing that against Catwoman, because just the huge range on her jump too. That jumping whip is just so just powerful at so much longer range than you should be ready for.
That is a very clean conversion, but used a lot of gravity in the combo before the back 3, so we had to go for something standing, but couldn't quite get the end. Not that it's a huge problem, because we're going to get another forward 3. There's the knockdown he was looking for.
Oh,
and
wow.
Wake up. Hard read stuff, but couldn't get the full combo. Didn't quite catch the magical clip. Ooh, forward dash into down 2. I like it. I really like that choice.
Last minute air dash to get over, but Dizzy's ready. Oh, trying to challenge the plus frames again, but Shark Teeth hesitant. Doesn't go in for them this time.
Just get out, dodge. There's the neutral jump again. Really trying to challenge that back one. I know what you're going to do. But it shuts down what Shark Teeth's trying, whiffing the charge to back one. It does recover. I'd like 4 frames of recovery, like barely anything.
It's fast. Oh!
Yeah, that. Oh, God.
I thought for sure he'd stuck a button out there. Dizzy, he just wants the space. Just absolutely wants the space. That's going to be the first life bar. Go on, Dizzy. Looking good again. Doesn't have any scratches on his trait, but hasn't needed them so far. He does have 2 bars, so his Shark Teeth still has to be careful. And again, Shark Teeth, he's not just throwing out the interactable, he's saving it. Because look, he's deliberately staying at this point of the screen. He wants the threat of it.
Now, normally this would be a matchup where Dizzy's going to be content saying, hey, man, you want to come in? I'm happy with that. But with Shark Teeth having projectiles and Dizzy not, it pretty much means that at all times, even with the life lead, Catwoman needs to be the one that's pressuring. She needs to be the one that's still maintaining a strong neutral, tries to wake up, and Shark Teeth gets clipped. That should be a cat dash, and it is indeed.
Oh, setup again. Oh, that's 2 for 2. Both times Dizzy has gone for that setup. Shark Teeth has reversed his wake up and done it every time. He knows that is 100% ready for that setup. And there it is.
There's the interactable. Yep, just take the knockdown, take a little bit of guaranteed damage. Tries to maybe anti-air with a straight laser. That charge is such a good button. It really is. A wonderful poke. Oh my God. First time I've seen him go for that one. I don't know. That looked like half reaction, half prediction.
Oh, wow. Right. Shark Teeth, big, brave read there on the meat burn teleport. But look at the damage she got for it. That really is an incredible way of Supergirl getting a ton of damage.
And the edge whiffed. Did it at the wrong time, unfortunately. Watch out. This is going to be unclashable, I think. Oh my God. Wait, what's that? What was that? What? What?
Wow, Shark Teeth. I don't know what that was at the end. If it was like a setup attempt or something a bit tricky, but regardless, it just, I mean, Dizzy was having none of it. Immediate meter burn back 3 into cat dash on the other side into another meter burn back 3. That was tough to clash.
It must have been either a last-minute Superman-style cross-up. Maybe he tried to go for a jump into like a cross-up jump. Maybe he tried to go for like a cross-up jump 3 or something like that. Like, I don't believe that was an execution error. I think that was a specific setup that he must have just mistimed like by a margin.
That was way too deliberate of a sequence of, like, you know, whiffing air grabs or, you know, a kind of cross-up attempt that I'm inclined to think that was intentional and some kind of, I suppose, funky setup attempt, but regardless, it did not work, and Dizzy saw to that as an immediate turnaround.
Right, well, this could actually be a 3-1 right now. Like, we're kind of looking to be on form for it. We've got to hope that that execution error doesn't stay with Shark Teeth. Those kind of issues, especially when it's that close, can definitely, I think, prey on your mind and the rest of it. He's had a good start now, though. Getting the first bar of meter is going to be a massive reward. Because remember, Dizzy was getting the first hit before, which gave him a huge chunk of damage for his combo. He's not going to have that luxury in this next game.
I mean, the next hit he'll build one, but actually no, or he'll get hit himself, which will build the bar for him, which is nice. Oh! I like that. Dizzy going for that delay wake up every time, but in that corner with that interactable, you can't do it there. Oh! Max range on that. Shark Teeth. Optimal damage here. Doesn't have bar to extend beyond, but we'll get a nice chunk for sure.
Okay, this is a wonderful turnaround. A perfect way to recover from a game that just did not go in your favor previously.
Oh, and there it is.
That's a Slayer meter burn back 3 right there.
I think it's just a way to seize momentum back, right? Clearly Dizzy's having trouble getting some damage there. Shark Teeth very much in the driver's seat. And a meter burn back 3 from Catwoman is a great way of kind of just stealing it back. And as I can say that, it's going to get an opportunity here and just carrying from wall to wall and taking minimal damage in the process.
Ooh, wow, regular wake up.
That's both statues now. They're both connected, but they've both done their job and have given Shark Teeth a nice lead. Moving through, plus frames. Oh,
yes, waits for it. Good patience to actually wait for the trait first, and he tried to teleport
Where are you going? Come back here.
Get back here.
Well, that's going to be, I believe, all the interactables now used on this map, so there's nothing left for them to use.
Looks like that standing 3 was... Looks to me like that jump in standing 3 is confirmable. Shark Teeth, he confirms that on hit, and on block always leaves it. I think it's too much of a common occurrence for him to not be confirming that.
Okay, I think Shark Teeth is getting a little bit too comfortable here. He just attempted a wake-up sweep, and that's definitely not going to work against Dizzy.
Surely he tried to do wake-up teleport or something.
I mean, that's not invincible.
I mean, maybe it's a hard read, right? If you expect to wake up and you sit there, maybe you press a button. We know Dizzy's been going for some like movement options on Shark Teeth's wake up to kind of make wake ups with. I don't know. We'll find out. Ooh. Yeah, watch out. Goes in for the down one. Challenges it.
Look at the patience of Dizzy. Yeah, he doesn't want to press anything.
Ooh.
But again, there's the adjustment. Sharky, he's still going for the charge because the second he presses a string, he's going to get whip punished, and he knows it.
All right, here's the pressure again. Meter build for days.
Oh, that last minute cross up block Dizzy with the defense.
I think Dizzy's going to keep this. Yeah, he doesn't want to bother. Oh my god, I can't believe Shark Teeth got hit by that! Here we go. This is bad. One more opening. If Shark Teeth gets hit by one more full combo, it is game over. He has to be so careful now. That brick wall defense has to come out.
He doesn't have a clash. If Dizzy can get any touch, any button here is going to do it.
Uh-oh.
He missed.
Yep, I don't think he was quite ready. It was a weird angle, man. It was a weird angle.
Oh, the whip again. Shark Teeth got the call out, but an immediate clash. Dizzy is going to take, 1 or 2 bars. What do you think? Probably
Okay,
2, right?
I think 2. He has to make sure he gets as much back. And now this is difficult for Shark Teeth. Shark Teeth's going to have to open him up at least twice. Oh my god!
There's one.
I can't believe the jump 1 beat the jump 2, but...
Oh, the combo! He missed it!
He drops it! He drops the combo! This has to be game over. Surely! I can't believe he dropped the combo. What a drop, man. What a drop.
Cat Dash won't chip out. Oh, and there is the instant jump. Shark Teeth, he was given the chance. He just had to hit confirm, but an unfortunate drop in just the last minute will give Dizzy the chance to just seize the game back after what was such a strong start. Shark Teeth, he took the first life bar down without taking a speck of life. That was his game to lose. And unfortunately, he did lose it.
I just don't know if... I don't know if that right there was one of those situations where he just straight up dropped the combo or whether he just didn't believe in his heart that it was going to hit. Because you know, there are some situations where you go for something and you're only kind of like half committed. You know, you're almost like trying to look for both options. You're trying to stay on that next level of awareness where on block I get this, and on here I get this. And when it hits, that split second it hits, your brain just goes, oh, wait, damn, I just at that time didn't think it was going to hit. And by the time you've realized it's already gone, you've already lost that chance.
That is,
damn.
That is the ultimate. If there's ever been a perfect example to use this sentence, I don't know what is. You hate to see that kind of thing happen.
Yeah, hate to see that kind of thing happen.
But, you know, Shark Teeth, it was a good game nonetheless. An unfortunate drop at the end, but of course, I'm sure we can see him pull it through as he drops down to the losers bracket. We have the chance to see more of him later on. But for now, it is going to be Dizzy moving on the winner's side, representing the UK well, I must say so myself, as he's going to be moving through. And I would say I'll try to not be biased. Right, I'll do my best. I can't make no promises, but I will do my best to try not be biased for Dizzy, because we know Dizzy's one of those players that he really, like Injustice 2, as he's found his curve. You know, he's found his groove. Whatever it is, it's working out for him. He just hasn't had the major success that he feels like he can do. You know, and it's very similar to what I've been saying with Derpy. But Dizzy is just one of those players that it's a lot of ninths, no top 8s. And not a lot of wins. You know, he won versus fighting, but you know that was a smaller tournament by UK standards this year. But we're still able to win it. You know, and of course we had some good players there. Orp was there, of course. Euphemism was there. Undead Jim was there. You know, Xoro. So there were some of the UK guys that really have been putting in the time. So still, you know, an impressive victory. But it's not the kind of victory that he's looking for. You know, he wants that major IPS success, and that's why he's here online. He's going for those points, and he wants to make it to the finals, and he wants to win.
I think right now, obviously, the two strongest Injustice players in the UK are definitely Irish Madness and Dizzy. Dizzy, I'd always compare Dizzy to like a UK Rewind. You know, Rewind, who was a really young player, up and coming, loads of promise, lots of potential, and was kind of like the slave to the 9th place. You know, could beat a lot of really decent players, but it's through tournament experience that you get more familiar and you can kind of crack into that top 8. And when you're in the top 8, you can start to extend further. Do you know what I mean? And I definitely think Dizzy and Rewind actually had similar journeys. I know they play online pretty regularly together, actually, that they're very, very similar to each other in that regard too. And it's like I said, they were training together before Evo happened. So it's, you know, I think there's a lot of promise there. The question is going to be how he can do in this tournament. I think he could be at least top 3, to be honest. I know when it comes to EU competition, I think Dizzy could actually do it. I really do think he could do it. It just depends on how, you know, essentially it just depends on how well he plays as each tournament progresses. It's not easy to be consistent, at least of all at a young age. Up next, let's have a look at the old bracket. So I can see Irish Madness versus K-Top is in the queue. I don't know if it's currently underway. But Irish Madness versus K-Top should be a win for Manus. That said, K-Top was using Starfire before the explosion of all the Starfires came to be. K-Top kind of started playing Starfire a while ago, and I assume he's been using her still. It would make a lot of sense. Just if you played Starfire before and now she's like come out has been really good, then keep using her, right? In terms of players you think might do well in this bracket, I can see a certain Russian Vladdy 7R.
Indeed. Now, Vladdy, we haven't seen in a while. I feel like Russia is one of those scenes that we obviously saw so much Russia in Mortal Kombat, and still continue to see them online. They're still playing. But in the world of Injustice 2, there are still some amazing Russian players. We just really don't get the chance to see as much of them as we would like as a community, which is why I'm happy that we're seeing them represented very well here today. We have some of that. I'm actually going to check the brackets and see how those matches are going on, as it looks like Tekken Master, obviously Tekken Master is doing well for himself. And we can actually look through these pools to see how these games are going, as we do actually have all of them so far. Let me move on through. As Irish Madness actually defeated AWP 3-1, so it's going to be Irish Madness.
Oh, really?
Irish Madness and K-Top will be playing in winner's side for top 8, as K-Top was able to defeat Get Blame, Nivek, and Hamo to get through to where he is now. And I do believe, it's going to be Costas and Harris against Nivek in the loser side, and they're playing now, I believe. We have what other matches do we have? We have Happy Power and Eddie Metal are currently playing. As Vladdy was actually defeated Ed Napier through to DQ. I believe Ed Napier didn't turn up. No. Ed Napier he won against Braindead, but then got DQ'd against Vladdy 7R.
What happened there?
I'm not sure.
Obviously, we'll find out what happened behind the scenes, I suppose. But Ed Napier was actually one of my players to watch in this tournament. Ed Napier was the guy that won very convincingly in the Path to Pro last year. Ed Napier last year was an unfortunate tale. Ed Napier and Inspector Choz, two CIS players, are really good. Ed Napier and his Batman, and then Inspector Choz and his Atrocitus. They were both very, very, very ahead of their time with the two characters they played. And we actually kind of expected them to do work at E-League. We thought they were going to be two massive upsets. They would surprise a lot of people. And unfortunately, due to visa issues, they actually could not attend the States, which has been a problem that has, some of our CIS players historically have kind of suffered those issues. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is sometimes, I suppose. But when they do come out, they put in work and they do really well, especially in these online cups where that's by far where their main, that's where their main training comes from, is online tournaments.
I will say, Vladdy also defeated Dubasic 3-0. So
really?
Dubasic is currently in loser's bracket, waiting for the loser of one of these games that's currently being played at the time. But also, who do we have here? Yeah, these have been some pretty incredible. So it's looking like it's going to be Vladdy versus the winner of Happy Power and Eddie Metal, which is currently being played. I'm not sure on the score itself. They're about 9 minutes into the game, so we'll find out soon, I'm sure. Shark Teeth and Dizzy, I believe that was actually, that was for top 8
match.
That was for top 8. So Dizzy TT is now going to be in winner's side top 8 later on. And Pennywise over Lordrak over Serious Hitman. We've had some pretty good games so far, all taking place at the same time.
As is the way with online tournaments, I suppose. There's always so much going on. Everyone plays at the same time. I wonder how Vladdy versus Happy Power is going to go, because Vladdy is another one of those players that has been recognized as a strong player. Back in the early days of Injustice 2, like during the Injustice 2 beta, we saw Vladdy all over the place because he's been using Batman pretty much like from start to finish. And ever since the beta, he's been pretty much just like grinding. And even Vladdy, like many of the CIS players, goes back quite far with the likes of Mortal Kombat X. And the CIS had and still does currently have a thriving Mortal Kombat scene online. There are so many players in CIS that actually play MKX. And Vladdy was one of the strongest Johnny Cage players in that region. I do believe actually Vladdy was by the end of the game, I think he had the strongest Johnny Cage, I think, is what happened by the end of the game. We saw him a lot during the Pro League days and even think Vladdy was supposed to be one of our players that made it into Pro League finals. But again, unfortunately, due to issues, he just couldn't attend. But I like how they're still grinding and they're still playing. You know, that's basically what it comes down to. When they play on online tournaments, they still put in work. So could Vladdy do top 3 today? Who knows? I think he's got
I feel like he's got the skills and he's got the right character. Batman truly is one of those characters overall that I feel like if you're a solid Batman player now and you've been playing the character this long, then you can almost beat anyone. You know, Batman's one of those characters that he does have some funny matchups that can cause him problems, but they're not matchups that are like super common. It depends on how the characters kind of evolve now as well, right? Batman's one of those characters that he's so fundamentally sound. No amount of nerfs can really ever make him truly a bad character. You know, he has a true left-right vortex with his jump-ins off of his batarangs, which he gets still quick enough to almost always have access to the vortex of. He's got a restand, he never has to do wake-ups, he's got great meter build, he's got good keep away, he's got mobility. Like, he really does tick all the boxes. And if you're good with this character now, then that's what you want to see. Speaking of Batman, I do believe Tekken Master is looking to play Batman against Hero Superman. Is this correct?
I wonder if it's a button check or whether this is a real game. Have we ever seen Tekken Master use Batman? We've seen him use it a couple of times, right? Wait, is he actually? He is. He's going Batman against this. What? When's the last time I've seen Tekken Master go in for Batman?
I feel like we've seen it before, but I can't remember off the top of my head exactly where it would have been.
Was it versus fighting?
I can't remember.
Versus fighting versus some matchups. It was matchups that Batman does exceptionally well in, I believe.
Indeed.
My memory fails me, but I'm pretty sure we've seen it before.
I'm pretty sure his surprise pick at versus fighting last year was the Green Arrow that he picked up specifically for Batman, actually.
Oh, that was the other way around. Yeah, he picked up a character for Batman. That's what he did.
Oh, regardless.
Well, okay. Well, but to be fair, he's not playing Batman. He's playing Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah, of course. My mistake.
How could we make this mistake? And now he's going to get Vortex. Actually, no, he hasn't got a bat, so he's going to just get the up restand. Pressure.
Yeah, he's just going for pressure.
There it is. How is Tekken Master so good with so many characters? This is insane.
It's the way he plays. It's his style. You know, he really thrives on having as much matchups covered as he physically can.
Now,
I mean, obviously
the
it's hard
comes
work.
out, but that's a bad clash, man. Like, right, he has to do it because he's got loads just to undo the work. But using your clash immediately is always like, worst case scenario.
Indeed. I feel like that's the biggest change though. Is it's so hard to play this many characters, especially at this level. But Tekken Master, the amount of effort he puts into these games and really dedicating to the grind. It's no surprise to see him just pull out these characters that we don't see him play too often. But they are always optimal. They're always ready to go. They might not be the best version we've ever seen of that character, but it's more than efficient enough to get the job done for the reason he's picked it. And I think this is like a prime example of that right now. No, this is not the best Batman we've ever seen, but it is a very clean Batman. It is more than effective enough to deal with what he's picked it for here against Heroes.
Well, if he's using it for this matchup, then, it doesn't need to be the greatest character in the world. It needs to be efficient enough to get the job done in the matchup that you've picked it for. He's going to get a lot of pressure here. Heroes kind of just has to sit there and hold all of these frames and all of these daggers because he has nothing to push block, and the width as well, going in for the plus frames. Finally gets a backdash, takes the round, but he's done so much damage. This is difficult.
It is indeed. As he finds himself without a clash, there's an extra bar. Is he going to spend it? Yes, he will. Close enough. Oh, not quite. There's Batman. Yep, there's only so long you can avoid damage in that situation, unfortunately.
Okay, well, that's a good game number 1, I guess. I wonder if we're actually going to see him go Batman for the entire matchup, or whether it's going to be use Batman to get as much wins as possible, and then when Batman can no longer do it, I don't know, maybe he's going to switch it up. He's going to get the luxury, right? He's always picked different characters for different matchups. He does have some characters that can do well versus Superman as well. So whenever Tekken Master picks a character that is kind of used for what he deems as like an early advantage, if he wins the first game, that's an advantage you don't want to give him. You don't want to give him another opportunity to counterpick. You want to win the game and make him go, damn, why did I pick this character? Why did I give a game up?
Well, I will say, Heroes also got to this point in the tournament by defeating XZ's 3-2. Now, obviously, XZ's and Tekken Master, they've been training partners for a long time in the scene. And, Tekken Master is the kind of player that is definitely going to want to get revenge for Aziz here, and is one game up in the process of doing so. Wow, that was really brave.
I wonder if XZ's traveled with Tekken Master then. Surely he must have.
I think I assume a number of them traveled together.
They normally do. They normally travel to tournaments together.
Yeah, of course.
Right, here we go. Much better full screen game for Heroes. Can't get the conversion off the bat though, a little bit too far away. That double jump,
yep.
Man, that is so good. That is such a good option for the air lasers. Normally, if you jump and he lasers, it's like guaranteed. Whereas now, you can just double jump and go, nah, no way, mate. I don't care that I'm out of position.
Oh, there it is, the block. Always have to be careful of that wake up, meter burn up Batarang. Oh, there it is. Big opportunity for Heroes. Doesn't have the bar for any more damage. Oh, wow, jumps over it clean.
Jump. What a jump.
Only Bruce Wayne.
All right, we're going to get the up Batarang. We're now going to go for the grab. I love the choice to go for grab because in that situation, you normally expect him to pretty much go for a restand and then you go for something on block into back call, which again can be plus in certain situations. Super, super good.
I love Tekken Master's movement in this game so far. Honestly, it's one of those just... It feels like Heroes can't actually physically hit anything, right? Aside from this kind of situation where you're finally blocking and you're in that situation that you have to make the read on what Superman's going to do. But it's that full screen game. It feels like Heroes really isn't able to get anything going anywhere but point blank, and that's because Tekken Master is just... I mean, even there, right? The second he realizes he was whiff punishable, let go of the Batarang. He's just really shutting down Heroes' options to do any damage from a distance. Oh, apart from that time, there we go. The plus frames have to be respected, and they will, and it will give Heroes a grab. Tekken Master on the defense.
Oh no, the execution error. The input unfortunately gets in, that's not a good situation for him there. I think he tried to go for, I believe, a down one, right? And then he gets the air grab, which is massively unsafe on block. Didn't get punished heavily though, and he's still been able to keep him in the corner, so not a bad recovery.
I should have perhaps seen if Tekken Master should have waited for Heroes to use trait there before going for the clash, but regardless, doesn't want to give Heroes any time to do more damage, I think. He's just going to rather prioritize not having low life.
Now he's able to hold. Maybe expecting a grab attempt there, the neutral jump. Oh, and he challenges it. He's going to get Vortex on this one.
No. Oh no, he dropped it.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised we didn't see him end the combo and go for the reset. He had a bat ready, and now he's got no Misa. Okay.
Frames, all backdashes.
Oh, bad time to backdash when you're in the corner against a Batman with bats out. That's the clash. This is his last lifeline for the second game. Okay, here we go.
And this again, Heroes has to be careful. He's popped his trait for what could be the last time in this game if he can't do anything with it. Won't get any damage, unfortunately. Starting to recharge. Oh, the air dash just to avoid. Oh, and he attempts the anti-air to Tekken Master, but will pay for it. Meterless combo from Heroes. Tying things up now.
Oh, oh. Oh god, what is this? So many jumps. Oh my god. This is the ugliest game end I think I've ever seen.
He manages to get the interactable through, but there's the bomb. Oh, down two into special. Heroes is put in a rough situation now. It's Tekken Master with the up Batarang. Wow, spaghetti fest end of the game, but Tekken Master will be able to come off better at the end of the scramble. Look at the state of that jacket. No dry cleaning will sort that.
You shouldn't. The thing is, Bruce Wayne made the biggest mistake fighting with a white dinner jacket on. What was he expecting to happen?
I mean, I guess that's a good point. But why is it so dirty? It's Atlantis. Where's all the mud coming from? They're in like a metal rim.
Dusty floor.
Maybe.
That's where.
Regardless, though, was a super close game too, and clearly both players. I think that's the kind of situation though that you do kind of see the unfamiliarity. So Tekken Master, whilst we're seeing he as a very tidy Batman, seeing someone that's kind of picked up a character that we haven't seen as much of in those kind of scrambles. The scrambles are where you really thrive as a specialist or someone that's played a huge amount of a certain character. And it's in those specific scrambles that you see players opting to go for things that might not be as consistent or stuff that might not necessarily work that seems like it should. Like for example, trying to just confirm into down two into the straight grapple hook only works off of certain gravity that you're only going to really know once you've put hundreds of hours into a certain character. But I don't doubt that Tekken Master has put hella effort into this character because clearly his Batman is tiny, but that's the kind of situation that you might see him struggle a bit.
Now we're starting to see Heroes panic we're starting to see Heroes panic a lot. There's like just regular raw wake-ups off being knocked down, and that normally shows signs of I am no longer comfortable at all in this matchup. Like he's whiffing a lot of jump-ins, he's going for some really bad air dashes, and like now he's obviously sitting there blocking, doesn't want to go for another wake attack. But this kind of defense shows Tekken Master, I am now checked out. I think you now have the advantage because I'm showing you how uncomfortable I actually am.
That's going to be close to the first life bar. Heroes is trying to get some damage out, but it's like I said before, Tekken Master, he's making himself so unpredictable to hit that even if Heroes is hitting him, it's trading out, and there it is. Backdash into Whiff Punish, perfect play, and Tekken Master going away, one life bar away from making winner side top 8.
Good block on the forward 3. Having to take the plus frames. Hero's defense, he's just getting constantly checked by those jumps, and he's really nervous to anti-air. Because, you know, and like the second he tries to go for something, it's getting caught out, doesn't work out, no anti-air works. I feel like the Heroes must be feeling right now during this clash, every time I try and fight back, I get beat anyway.
Okay, that's some more damage dealt. The snowball gets bigger for Tekken Master as Heroes is really running out of options here. There's an opportunity for some damage, but doesn't have too much bar.
Right. This is a good situation for Tekken Master. Watch out for the 4-2-3 breath. And a cross up. Is he going to go for an air tech? He has to watch out. Nope. And I wonder if he felt like the air tech was too obvious, whereas Tekken Master had no reason to stop that combo. If the air tech happened, he'd just react to it, and that's going to be game over. A easy 3-0. Tekken Master is going to get the top 8 on the winner's side. Points that he so desperately needs, and he's now going to be one step closer to getting them.
Well, we saw him pick Batman at the start, and I don't think we necessarily questioned it as much as we were like, oh, this is a surprise. But I think we've learned definitely to not ever not have faith in a character that Tekken Master picks in the tournament setting. You know, I think the list gets longer of the characters that he has decided to play, especially like this. And it's nice to see that even a year on, he is still experimenting, right? He is still increasing that character pool. And to a point that's really comfortable for him. You know, even today we've seen him play Atom, we've seen him play Batman. I mean, can we even say, does he even have a main anymore? Or is it just, I'll pick what I need to pick for the situation?
He's always been someone that mains the game, you know. He's always been a kind of guy that he looks at the way the game is and says, right, I want to kind of give myself the best chance to play. So I'm going to play this character and this character and this character. And as each patch happens, as each, you know, every character gets changed around, he does the same thing. And he kind of just refreshes that team. It was very similar to how like Sonic Fox would approach every single patch, especially last year. It's just one of those things. It's working out now. I think the only time we've ever seen it not work is, I think, oh God, it must have been either Evo or Venality, where he swapped to Atom when I don't think it was quite ready. And that was the only time we ever saw it and went, I don't quite think that was a good idea. But every other time he's done it at Versus fighting, and he brought out a surprise Brainiac, and everyone's like, he's going to pick Brainiac. And back then, no one kind of rated Brainiac that high. And we were saying, well, is this character any good? I don't really know. And then he just turns up to Versus fighting and gets grand finals with the character that no one had faith in. And it was one of the first times we'd seen a like sublime Brainiac, like just next level. And he just has been continuing that trend. You know, right now it's been certain matchups, but nothing inventing the wheel like he has done with certain characters and kind of put his own stamp on them. But now it's just pure efficiency. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely rate Tekken Master going into the rest of this tournament. I'm excited to see how he does against the rest of the competition.
No, absolutely.
Because it's hard to say. Some of Europe has really stepped up this year in Injustice 2.
Well, we do have some more European players coming through, as we have Irish Mantis versus K-Top ready to go, which I believe is going to be another. Yep, there's going to be another winners top 8 qualifier game, as Irish Mantis got to this point by defeating Dalfinate and Orp. He defeated Orp 3-1 to get here, and of course K-Top was able to defeat Get Blame, Nivek, and Hamo winner's side. And K-Top is one of those players that we haven't really seen him at all in Injustice 2 this year. He did enter basically everything online that he could last year. I believe he was at Venality last year as well. I think that was his first major offline appearance. It didn't go quite well for him. But online, he does have quite a lot of success. He found himself in the finals for Path to Pro. He is in all the online cups that he can enter, basically, because he really wants to compete. And obviously online is his comfort zone. And here we are. Irish Mantis, of course, had a great showing at Venality this year. About a month ago now, I suppose, at least. You know, it's quite recent at the very least, you know, the last month or two, I suppose. But it is always with that Atrocitus. And that's one thing that I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. Because K-Top, last time we saw him play was with Starfire. And it was very much before Starfire had kind of been discovered by the community. You know, really kind of optimized how you should play her. And Irish Mantis did lose to Honeybee Starfire quite convincingly at Venality. So clearly a matchup that he didn't look quite as ready for, as someone that is an Atrocitus specialist through and through. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think if K-Top is still going in with Starfire and he has evolved his Starfire from what we saw previously, I think he could actually have a really good chance in this situation. It's good practice above all else. You know, it's like you said, this is definitely K-Top's comfort zone more than it is Mantis's. So whilst I think Mantis is the stronger player in terms of like results, I think that when it comes to, you know, training settings and how K-Top competes and practices, almost the entirety is done online. So with these things in mind, would you say when these guys go head to head, it could be potentially quite a even matchup? It depends on how much Mantis has learned about Starfire from when he fought Honeybee at Vianality to how he's going to play now.
Well, there definitely has been enough time between then and now to really make those adjustments and make that change. The thing that concerns me is the fact that there aren't, especially in the circle of players that I know, you know, the European guys, you know, they play each other, they give each other games, they grind together. I think it really is the lack of Starfire kind of accessibility that Europe kind of has a lot. I feel like, especially in comparison to like North America, there are nowhere near as many Starfire players in Europe to kind of practice from as there are in America. And I think that's the thing that he's going to have to watch out with the most.
It's almost like surprising we don't have more Starfires in Europe at like a top level, because she's such a good character, and it's a character you're going to be seeing so often, you know, like almost all the time. So essentially it's, I don't know, maybe the time is right. Maybe more people need to play against K-Top if that is the character that he's using. We'll just have to see, basically. I believe we're currently waiting for K-Top to join the lobby. So we've got Mantis in this lobby already. We're just kind of waiting for his opponent to join, and then we should be able to get this match underway. But for now, I don't know. I don't know what to make of who I think is going to win this tournament. I think Dizzy has a really good chance. I genuinely believe that Dizzy has a good chance in this.
I think Dizzy's looking really good. I think also Vladdy, by the look of the path that Vladdy has paved for himself so far, that's going to be our next upcoming match. We have Irish Mantis and K-Top coming up now, and then we have Happy Pal versus Vladdy for the final winner's side top 8 match. If Vladdy can defeat Happy Pal here, I'm confident that Vladdy could maybe beat anyone. I think Vladdy really was one of the powerhouse players to watch out for from Russia last year. Haven't really seen too much of him again this year. We haven't really had the opportunity to. But now there seems to be a change of that. And again, it's like I've said, a good Batman player that has been playing as long as Vladdy has, who plays as often as he does, is terrifying. And I'm curious to see how he's going to face off against Happy Pal, who is such a unique style of player, especially with a character like the Flash. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. I think Dizzy's looking good. I think Dizzy's just going to be able to get past some of the other players in the bracket. I know Dizzy has struggled against Tekken Master in the past. He did get 3-0'd by Tekken Master's Green Arrow at Vianality, which did not go well for him. He definitely kind of looked at the options of maybe picking up another character for that matchup. The question is whether he's done that or not, or whether the character he may have picked up has found themselves kind of ready enough for competitive, but we'll see that too. But it really is this match, this one we're waiting on now, Irish Mantis and K-Top, that I'm really excited to see how this one goes, because Mantis, it's so important for Mantis to get these points, but K-Top is just, we haven't seen him this year, and here we are, and clearly he's been playing because he's been taking out some good names to get to this point. And I will say I can hear some quite severe typing from your side. You're typing out quite a story.
Muted my mic in vMix, and here we go. I muted my microphone, and you could still hear me typing. You know why? That's because it's probably Discord. I don't know. Stream. If you heard that typing, I'm actually really sorry. I thought you couldn't. I thought I'd muted myself. We're just talking to admins behind the scenes about getting K-Top in the lobby. That's the online stuff, but we should be good to go. Irish Mantis versus K-Top, I think, is ready. Is he going to go to Starfire? I do believe he should be. Wait, he plays Atom now?
Ooh, okay. This is not what I was expecting.
It's actually interesting that he played Starfire first, but actually swapped to someone else. That's actually genuinely surprised me. But hey, man, he's got to look at the gear. My man has been playing Atom. We should be fine. All right, here we go. K-Top, a character a player we haven't seen a lot of recently, but has been always playing online. Always, always. And there's the down 3. That down 3 is going to be quite a magic button against this character, I think. And tries to go in for the float. Madness wise to it. Tries to go for optimization, but again, he drops that combo so much, I would wish he would stop doing it, to be honest. I don't think it's worth it.
It depends how much more damage it gives, right? If it's like a couple of %, then perhaps not worth the risk. But it is early days of the set. If Irish Madness wants to go for it, now is definitely the time to do so. You have less to lose at this point, in theory.
Right, you've got Dexter. There we go. He'll take the trade. He'll take that ground pound just to get Dexter out. And there's the trait. Dexter doesn't even know where to look.
If I say the cat doesn't know where to go. Oh boy. So it looks like this is kind of matchup that Atom's not going to stop him. Oh, what a wake up. Atom's not going to stop him from summoning the cat. He's at kind of most going to trade some damage out. But I think that's the most he can hope for.
Now, I feel like in this matchup right here, it's going to be a lot of K-Top kind of just running around doing what he wants. And it's probably going to be Madness having to heavily work around it. You know, K-Top is going to play that runaway game. He's going to be as irritating as possible. Down 3, low profiles, the forward 2. That is matchup knowledge right there.
There's a push block again, yeah. There's nothing to deal with it.
Yeah, he's spending the whole game playing this distance game. I like the decision. I think that's why he's gone for this character. He knows this is how he tackles the matchup. Chases down the air tech, goes in for the wake up. K-Top going almost like, why not? If I'm one hit away from death, I may as well just try and be as slippery as possible.
I like about Madness's way of getting around the air tech, but still doing damage. That was really smart there with K-Top. Getting that ground pound, trying to do as much chipping down as he can. Oh, wow! Unfortunate missed grab from Madness. I think he was expecting K-Top to block the shield.
And this trait, yep, gets clipped. Goes in for the wager, and this is a difficult position for Madness, I think. This is such an amazing matchup, I think, for Atom. That K-Top, there's one thing he knows how to do well, it's abuse a matchup that he knows in his favor. He knows how to pick correctly. You know, that's always been one of his strongest suits, is making good choices for what matchup he wants.
Okay, there's going to be some guaranteed life back from K-Top. The question is, does he actually go for it? If he spends the bar here, he actually is going to be in trouble. Yeah, of course, he's going to hold on to it. And that extra bar will help him finish off this life bar for Mantis. He can. Oh, jumps clean over. Doesn't get close enough for anything else. Ooh, hang on a minute.
Unfortunately, yeah, no bar though. That's the problem. He's opened him up twice, but he's not able to really do much. There's the push block. Watch out for the teleport. Regular teleport actually tries to stay safe, but push block. This could be a last lifeline. Goes in for Dexter, but no, gets clipped. And now it's no longer safe to cool trait. This is not good news for Mantis.
Oh, he knows.
Punish. Right, here we go. Is it enough? Hang on, he's fighting back. I can't believe he didn't confirm. Oh, the down 3 going underneath every button Atrocitus has to offer. That could have been a good comeback for Madness, but I just don't think he was ready to confirm, because K-Top is so... This has to be the slipperiest Atom I've ever seen.
It makes me wonder if Atrocitus has normals that can actually hit him when he's low profiling. Because his down 1 is quite high, his forward 2 is his best mid and clearly gets low profiled. You're not just going to sweep point blank. It makes you wonder, does Atrocitus actually have buttons that can hit a low profiling Atom? Because we saw Irish Madness, he already made the adjustment. He was going for more of a whiff punish style. He was trying to bait, he was obviously going towards baiting K-Top into going for the low profile just to whiff punish it on the way up. You know, because clearly they're on the recovery, you still can't block, right? So you might not be able to hit it when it's active, but if you can make it miss and whiff punish, then that's what we saw him going for a little bit. The biggest problem Madness had there was his execution really let him down.
For sure, because again, it was one of those things at the end where the drop was because sniped. But again, he just, God, what's going on? It just look. Oh God, no.
Really bad time for that to happen for Madness. That's really unfortunate.
I'm gonna outright say it. That's unfortunate. That really sucks. Hopefully he just shake it off and forget about it. He's still, unfortunately, is no longer in the lead. And again, a second he's unfortunate indeed. Okay, there's the conversion. Still has the conversion. Really clean, but drops the back 2-3. That looks kind of tight at the end. Right, there's the pressure. Challenges it to down 1. Down, back to back down 1 puddle. Very rarely see Madness go for something like that.
Oh, he just jumps out of the corner. Back to teleport ready. Oh, and again, cannot confirm from the cat. This connection really letting both the players down right now, unfortunately. As is the way with online events sometimes. But you just got to try and shake it off and move through. And it's going to be the first life bar going to K-Top.
Right. Either way, there were a couple of pauses. It's not enough to stop Madness. Unfortunately, jumps into the projectile. Kind of have to, I think, if you're going to be trying to make the pressure game take place. Gets a good block on the cross up. Wow, that actually, I've never seen that.
That was incredible. That was incredible. And the down 1 getting low profile by the sweep there. But K-Top, he knows how to make this an annoying matchup, and that's what he's going for. Also, I've never seen the stomp jump over the puddle before. That was hype. That was hype.
All right. There's the immediate clash. Back to full screen. Has lost Dexter though, so it's going to take Mantis a little bit of a while to bring that back up.
And they are going to trade out. Oh, but no bar to push block this time. That's the problem. When you push block every single Atom trait, it kind of shows the Atom player that you're really uncomfortable blocking it.
And then if you spend all your resources, when he finally opens you up, big damage. And there you go,
then.
down
Easy,
3.
easy low profile.
If there's one button that's going to low profile that punch rate, down 3 has to be right at the top of that list for me. I'm surprised Dexter even managed to hit him out of the air at any point. And again, back to back. Has to go for the easier combo. Actually would have gone for the back 3, but I think he saw the spike and didn't believe in it.
Oh, doesn't let him. I like that adjustment from Mantis. Cat almost ready. Yeah, switch up and wake up. Oh! Interactable doesn't have the bar. Oh, the block.
Huge reads.
But no big punish.
Oh! Watch out! Goes for it. No! He whiffed it! Oh my god! He has to commit.
Oh, back to
again.
back.
Oh god.
Back
My
to back,
God.
down 3's coming out from K-Top there, right at the very end, just as low profile as much as possible, and it's gonna work. But that misconfirmed by the end. I feel like Mantis had the opportunity, but he threw it away.
Yeah, that's. I'm recovering from how that game ended. That is really unfortunate. Because it's like, it's the fact that he pressed a button, right? And then it's such an interesting thing that Atom can do, really, for me, that he's able to, and I think we've lost one of them. Mantis has left the game. I wonder whether that was Mantis or K-Top, but we'll have to get him back in. If it happened right at the end.
Oh, it was definitely Mantis that left at the end. I wonder if he's gone to restart a router or something.
Yeah, potentially. Well, to be fair, he needs these points, right? He really, really, really needs these points. So it makes sense that he's going back to check things out, make sure he's under good
But then
circumstances.
Irish Mantis is here in chat saying, why did he leave? What? What's happened here? Apparently Mantis hasn't left the lobby, but we can see on our screens that he has. Interesting.
We shall see. We shall see what's happening.
Well, regardless, obviously we're seeing what Atom can do in the hands of someone that knows really how to make a matchup difficult. You know, we're seeing that clearly Atrocitus has issues hitting Atom. You know, the low profiling is a big problem. Obviously, Atrocitus is quite a big body in himself, so Atom is going to get a lot of mileage out of those kind of ambiguous jump heavies, the trait everything. And Irish Mantis, again, we're seeing it's much like when we saw Derpy fight Tekka Master. If you push block the trait every single time, it really shows the Atom player that you're not too confident in blocking the whole thing. Because obviously, like if you block the whole thing, you get a full combo punish. But it's a lot harder than just push blocking, because push blocking takes him out of the trait. You get to do it again, and it is what it is. But of course, we are now 2-0 in the set, as we're going to await news on what's going on with this, as we're going to try and get the lobby back up and running again, and we can continue with the series. But obviously, this is important, right? This is Injustice Pro Series. There are points on the line for the leaderboard, and a player like Mantis that had a decent showing at Vianality, he needs these points. So we're going to want to make sure that this is 100% ready to go as soon as we can, so we know what's going on with this.
Well, while we wait for the next match to come up, there's so much potential matches we have to talk about. I'm going to go and check out the queue, just see what we have lined up. So Happy Pal versus Vladdy is coming up next. That's a matchup I'm actually really excited to see. I actually personally haven't seen Vladdy play in a very, very long time. I kind of said earlier that he's been a player that's been, you know, we actually saw him a lot during the beta days, and he's been playing Batman pretty much the entire time. Don't know if he plays anyone else. I haven't seen him since. Happy Pal in a situation where he could quite happily take those points as well. I think we have the players back in. It should be Atrocitus versus Atom. Obviously, K-Top being locked into Atom, and Mantis going in with Atrocitus as always, because this really is kind of like his bread and butter. Took Mantis about a year to start gelling with the game, but once he did, his Atrocitus just became smooth as silk, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just a little bit of time, right? But that's all it is. Some players take a little bit longer to develop into the game than others, and I think there are examples of that here. But I believe we're continuing this from 2-0 as the match was over. So 2-0 currently a lead for K-Top. He's going to spend that first bar on the first combo. Mantis going to get a free summon on Dexter, but full screen to worry about here.
Right. Now, That's the thing about Atom. That's why it's such a good pick for this matchup. It's not only the low profiling, it's the fact that you can kind of disappear and make Dexter nowhere near the threat Dexter usually is, you know?
Missed punishment by Mantis.
It's a great choice. Yeah, it is. I feel like Mantis might be a little bit tilted here.
No, he's definitely not the kind of player to tilt.
Right, confirm. There's Dexter. Watch out.
Shield, yep.
Even the teleport, it causes the shield to take a long time to actually sort of reorient itself.
Oh, hang on a minute.
The down 3 didn't win. What is this?
Teleport again, K-Top. Again, Irish Mantis not able to get too much damage. And because he's just push blocking every single trait, Irish Mantis finds himself with a lot less meter than we are used to seeing.
Okay, challenging it with a punch float, knowing it's instant. I believe punch float is like 6 frames startup. And I feel like it's going to actually force Mantis to have to take those big risks, those big plays, raw puddle, just to make sure he can't low profile with the down 3. Hey, if it's going to pause, it's going to pause now and not during the match, one can hope.
Hopefully. Ideally, I'd like it to not happen at all, but... This is really unfortunate. There's no two ways about it. This is tough. And that's a punish.
Is that a guaranteed punish right there?
I'm not sure. Well, I actually wonder if Irish Mantis just tried to move after it.
Oh God.
Atoms are relatively large.
Oh my. K-Top's on match point. Mantis sitting on 1 bar, almost 2 now. Okay, catches it with punch float. He's really forcing Mantis though to have to take these big, unsafe risks.
Tries to punish. There's push blocking. K-Top actually push blocking Atrocitus.
But has he just shown K-Top right there that he actually went for the big forward 2-2 into ground pound? So he's actually showing K-Top that he's not afraid to make the big risks. Teleport out of there, catches it.
Another miss. This is really unfortunate.
Every time.
It's every time he gets a hit, unfortunately.
Every time he's getting hit. It's actually very hard. I've tried not to be biased in this situation, but there's no getting around it. This is really unfortunate. Okay, there's the confirm. There's the clash. Mantis definitely not out of this. Not out of this at all. Now we'll see what he gets from this situation. Let's make a big play. Dexter isn't available for a while. And Dexter really is going to be how this matchup finishes. Oh, goes in for the back 2. No confirm. Down 3's on low profile. Wake up, punch float again. Doesn't meter burn it. Needs that bar if he catches K-Top slipping. There it is. Punishes him. Gets the down 1 float. Oh my God.
I mean, I feel like there's nothing else I can say about this. Like, this is just really unfortunate because this is like game-winning stuff for Mantis, and it's every time he gets a hit. This is just really, really unfortunate. But alas, he has an opportunity in K-Top, of course, and not to say we're suspecting foul play. You know, I'm not saying it is inherently K-Top's fault.
No.
But there's the clash.
My God, this is insane. He has to win off this. He has to. But it's so scary. With no bar, K-Top can't go for meter burn teleport. With no bar, he can't. Oh no.
And that's that. Now, I am going to be seeing if there's going to be discussions on the quality of that match to see if there's any decisions to be made. Because I feel like there's no two ways about it. That kind of connection is a problem, but we will await to see what the decisions are. Of course, it is not down to us. We are going to have to wait and see and see what the decision is. But for now, that is going to be a 3-0 win for K-Top, and he's going to be moving through to winner's side top 8. But we're going to have to wait and see what's going on with that, as I feel like there is a dip in connection, and then there is what we just saw there. And considering the caliber of this event and the seriousness of it, I would get into this personally from a personal perspective.
I think it makes sense, you know, if it can be looked into, I think it should be. From my personal opinion, obviously Mantis, he needs these points, and if he's going to lose points, it kind of it has to be through the methods where there's no discussion that it was just he lost, right? Normally, it's difficult to talk about these things because obviously you can't pin blame on either player by any means.
I want to say, just quickly, we are by no means blaming K-Top. I'm not saying it's his fault. We're not saying he's causing it by illegitimate means. Connections can happen, but this is important, and that was a very, very subpar quality connection right there. But regardless, alas,
unfortunately, that can happen. Yeah, that can happen sometimes in the nature of online tournaments. Obviously, it's not an issue with the netcode of the game because Injustice 2 has actually got a very, very good netcode. So we'll just find out what's going on. Either way, the next matchup we're going to be seeing is Happy Pal versus Vladdy 7R, and we have to move on. We just have to move on.
Indeed, but that does mean we have a really good match coming up though in Vladdy and Happy Pal. As I don't think I don't think I've ever seen these guys play before, which is quite a treat for us, really, considering Happy Pal was such a unique Flash player. That really, I mean, the character is insane. You know, Flash is one of those characters that can just take a life bar off one good read, right? He's got the best standing 50-50s in the game, amazing rush down, great utility, mobility through the roof. But at the same time, you know, it has elements of insane swag and setup and Oki and restands. And that is the style of Flash that Happy Pal has always lived and died by. You know, how many times have we seen Happy Pal win a game off an insane, crazy setup, but also seen him lose a game off of going for stuff that is seen to be perhaps quite unnecessary. He really sticks to it, you know, with his dying breath. And Vladdy just is just clean, solid, fundamental Batman. So this is going to be quite an interesting matchup for sure, to say the least.
I think it could actually be quite tricky for Happy Pal. The question is going to be on whether there are any Flash players in the CIS that are on Happy Pal's level. I know that I've no doubt there are some players in that region that do use Flash. I don't know how regular Vladdy and Happy Pal would play each other, but we'll find out. Basically, we're moments away from seeing how it's going to go. Happy Pal, he'd like to get as far as possible, I think, after his performances. Obviously, we went to Combo Breaker. Didn't do very well at all at CEO. He definitely had a bit of a nightmare tournament. I think he had actually lost twice to Anbu Get Wrecked. He'd got double eliminated by Get Wrecked at that tournament, I believe. And he has some recovering to do, right? And Vianality was a decent tournament, but unfortunately lost to Mantis, which was a very, very pivotal tournament for him. And the online tournament is where he's going to get his biggest burst of points as of late, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. But I feel like kind of going back to the topic of Happy Pal, Happy Pal has had an interesting journey in the world of competitive NetherRealm. I feel like he really started off with MKX, who was that reptile player that we all saw in the King of the Hills doing crazy cool stuff. He was a competitor back then. He would enter events and and do his best for them. But it really was in Justice 2 that he decided, right, it's serious time. This was the game he was going to be taking seriously and putting his all into. And he has been, with Foxy Grandpa's announcement that Foxy Grandpa is taking a break from Injustice 2, I feel like Happy Pal really has stepped up to be that European representative in terms of like international competition. He was at CEO, he was at Combo Breaker, he was obviously at Vianality. He's making it to every event he can because he's putting in the grind to the absolute maximum. And here he is today in this online cup, looking one game away from winner's side top 8, which is going to be a nice amount of points for him.
And that's a high account level too. So Vladdy has currently clearly still been playing, and he's got that crisp.
Oh, look at that!
Crisp
look at
gear,
that,
man.
Is that Electrum? Gear. Is that Electrum? I think it's Electrum.
It is, yeah. It's Electrum.
Electrum Batman. Is probably.
I'm a fan.
It's probably one of the coolest Electrum shaders you can get.
Now, I do think we are in for a really, really good matchup here. Because it's two exciting characters to watch. It's a fun matchup to watch. Two, at this point, masters of their character as well. This is going to be a great winner side top 8.
Okay, but that really is it. The chips are down now. Winner makes it through to top 8, winner side to play a little bit later on. This is really where it gets make or break. We've seen Happy Pal already. We're yet to see Vladdy, but we know Vladdy has had an incredible path so far in this tournament. I think he likes to do basic. But there it is, immediately right. Vladdy trying to back one through Sonic Pound.
If you're going to try and disrespect, I think disrespecting at the very beginning of the game is one of the better places to go. It's like almost like risk-free when the meter isn't there as much. Against Flash, it's different. I know he's got Speed Force, but Happy Pal hasn't pulled the trigger on a couple of these buttons, which could have led to full combos. Vladdy's still down on life regardless. Neutral jumping, probably expecting a button press, knowing that Vladdy disrespected at the beginning.
I think he's just trying to
mix up.
Happy Pal's just trying to be conservative, though. I feel like he doesn't want to really commit too much yet. Or, however, it's gonna be a roar overhead. But Happy Pal's built up quite a lot of bar. Already had 4 bars.
Ooh. Oh my god, Speed Force just to get armor broken in slow motion.
I like the attempt from Happy Pal. Last time he went close with the Speed Force, Vladdy actually attempted to press the button to catch him in. Happy Pal maybe expecting it again, tries to down 2 in between, but again another air tech. Happy Pal, by all intents and purposes, this round should be over. But he spent so much bar on the air tech, he doesn't have the bar to finish off Vladdy.
That was a really nice whip punish actually from Happy Pal, just waiting for it to go forward. Now he has to respect. Now he's Sonic Pounded, he just can't. He has to sit there and wait for it to be pulled. Now Speed Force slides underneath. Good block on Vladdy. Could have been an overhead or low. He guesses right on the low that time. And wow, a nice answer.
Oh, wake up parry attempt. Yeah, I would say for a single life bar, we've already seen 3 Speed Forces out of Happy Pal. It's quite a slow-paced game. Not what I was expecting from these 2 players.
Good block at the back 2-3. Watch out for the bat. And there it is. Has to block the plus frames.
The Vladdy charging that back 3, waiting to see if Happy Pal jumped, I think, perhaps.
Oh, uh-oh. Worst time to get clipped is when you've spent a bar for no reward. There we go. Punishes the down 2. Patience. Oh, dropped the combo, though. I do wonder why he didn't pop the trait. I wonder if he was going to try and use the trait a little bit later. Yep, lets it go on the lightning kick. Another low. Just chipping away. It's normally flash hitting for like huge chunks at a time, but right now it's hit after hit after hit. Again,
another slide. I mean, so much damage Happy Pal was getting. I mean, it might not be a lot by itself, but when you send enough of those slides in one go, that is eventually going to add up. There's 4 bars now from Vladdy, from Happy Pal, I should say, on the Speed Force spot.
The thing is, it's enough hits, though, that are individual and unclashable. So Vladdy hasn't actually been given the opportunity to clash pretty much ever in this round.
I mean, this is chip territory, but not going to need it. And that's a whiff punish for Happy Pal. I love the way he really slowed that down. I feel like he was just being really careful there. I feel like Vladdy spent a lot of that time just trying to not let Happy Pal get in, like really playing for the defensive style. But ultimately, I think Happy Pal didn't seem to have too much interest in going in the same fashion. Aside from, like, we saw him really chipping down with those full screen slides off the running man stance. But fundamentally, it really was Happy Pal kind of just playing around the Speed Force. We saw like 5 or 6 traits in that game from Happy Pal alone, really not going in unless he had his trait to cover him. And I wonder if that's the adjustment here, because Batman, his trait is so overwhelming. He has those sneaky options, a great backdash, slippery options on the defense. But if you put the Speed Force up, I mean, he's as slow as everyone else. And I think that's what Happy Pal is kind of playing around.
Okay, now he's finally managed to open him up. This is actually the first time we've seen Happy Pal get opened up here. And Vladdy drops the down 2. That's the worst time to drop a combo, because that's where the reset comes from. That's where the potential damage comes in.
And there's the triple low. All the overhead, the mix coming through, but Happy Pal not committing.
All right, launch again. Finally gets to confirm. Now, we're going to go for the up toss. No, we go for the back call reset. We want the pressure instead. And there's the Speed Force. Happy Pal, I feel like he was the Flash player that really forefronted using Speed Force in the neutral rather than just combo damage. But now it's not going to help him much. Back 2-3 is going to add a nice chunk of damage. You can play the range game from this distance with Batman.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the biggest changer now. What Happy Pal was doing before, playing around the Speed Force, not going in unless he kind of had that covering his back, will work when it's kind of even or he's sort of lively, but not so much if he's on the back foot. However, gets a big opening here, provided he doesn't drop this. It's very unlikely to, and that's going to be evened out. Oh, but what an answer from Vladdy. I love it. Wake up interactable for the invincibility. The only thing that could save him from that Sonic Pound. Oh, the read!
That was super sick. That was really, really good. I love these micro reads these guys are making. Whoa! Fusing at that. Oh, God!
The anti-air Vladdy. Next level.
These guys having
through.
Yeah, they're having to make some really hard reads because they're just looking at how this is a very vertical stage, isn't it?
Indeed. There's that, the orbs above them for the mobility if they need it. Just that being there is enough. Oh my goodness! Oh, he let it go!
Oh, the cross up! And that cross. Oh, and he dropped it. This is, I would say this is spaghetti, but it is actually, in fact, amazing. And there's the clash. 1 for 2, I wonder if it's 1 for 2.
I mean, surely you tie out. I don't know, he's gonna hold on to all of it.
Oh!
Again, Vladdy getting so much out of the sparks. Oh, the low again. He used all of his trait, Vladdy!
And now the clash is his!
Okay, so Vladdy, he doesn't have a clash, he doesn't have trait. Happy Pal's getting health back here. But how much does he spend? Or does he hold it for super? 2 bars, Happy Pal, he knows. That was one of those make or break decisions. On the whip.
Yep, he tries to swift grab. He's a little bit late on the down 1. And there's the instant air sparks. Watch out for those.
Oh! And Vladdy tries to use the interactable to get away. Cancel into the trait again. 3 lows, blocks it this time. Into plus frames, there's a bar. Oh, air tech at the last minute. He's going to build 1 bar.
Oh my God! Oh! Right, anti-air comes forward. Right, Speed Force, reset.
Oh my God! That block was everything.
The one time he goes overhead and Vladdy blocks it. The one time he commits. Oh my God, the read. I know that was a straight 50-50, but Vladdy had blocked low every single time. The one time Happy Pal goes overhead, Vladdy stands up and blocks it instead. That was just a calculated guess if I've ever seen one.
I mean, that was it. It was a 50-50, right? It was a 50-50, and he took it. He got the right read on the block, and he was able to win the round off of the back of it. Happy Pal really, I mean, that was, he spent his trait, he spent his speed force, that was right. This is the final moment. And we've seen, like, that by no means is that easy, you know, because, of course, a 50-50 is a 50-50. If you have to guess overhead or low, it's a guess, right? However, there's more to it, you know, players going for more of one than the other. What's the range? You know, are they going to go for the low because it's maybe safer because you've got more hits? Like whatever it is. But in those moments when it's literally one hit from death, you have to make the reading, you have to stick to it. And that's going to be a combo for Vladdy. Is going to have the Vortex here. Just going for the straight up jump in.
He went in for the classic Batman Vortex.
I mean, the jump two it can still be quite ambiguous, so you know, can still be difficult, but oh yeah, I was definitely ready for them.
It's an amazing button that can still cross up, so its ability to cross up is changing. Happy Pal dropping another combo. That's really unfortunate because he's let him out the corner with it. Now Vladdy really just still playing so well. It's great to see Vladdy still playing and still see him be this good.
Oh, crouching under. Oh, but the trait to try and cover him. I like it from Vladdy.
But Happy Pal was wise to it.
Oh, another drop. Happy Pal dropping every combo so far. Cannot afford to do so as Vladdy is given another lifeline. That's two opportunities. Vladdy should be out of life here. What the? Did he just stand up into the cable and hurt himself, or was that a trait?
No, he had the back call. It was the exact same thing, but Happy Pal, I think, bet his chances on being able to beat Vladdy to the punch. Unfortunately, he couldn't, and there we go. Tries to whiff punish. That actually was an attempt, I think, to whiff punish the grapple using the up tag. Oh, are you going to take the round? Not quite.
That's going to be it, yep. Vladdy is alive by the skin of his teeth here. Happy Pal needs to try and finish him off. Jumps over the bin. He has that back call. Happy Pal has to be really careful with his approach. And there it is, full punish, but no! Vladdy is late.
Oh! Watch out! Oh my god. Vladdy is making himself impossible to hit, just refusing to die for 60 seconds.
Oh, Happy Pal decides to thread the needle in the end. Gets it. There's the air to air. Easy stuff coming through. Bait on the slide! That is going to be a punish and a half. I actually like that from Happy Pal, opting not to go for the trait. I wonder if he knew that Vladdy was going to be clashing, and it would have been a complete waste of the speed force.
Potentially. Potentially. It's just a good read, right? It was such a big opening, you would have had to go for the clash, because you can't give up like 500 damage at least. I have to watch out. This defensive game, the second he builds the bat, there it is. This defensive game works, and there's the slide again. Vladdy, stop scouting it.
You're seeing Happy Pal really going for those slides when you can see the traits out. And that's been optimized, meterless combo here. Set up, good blocking of head again. Vladdy, not only is he ready for the block, he's ready for the punish. And he's going to be interrupting again. Happy Pal, half the speed force is already back though.
He has the super, and that's why Vladdy's actually not pulling the trigger or anything, because he has super. He has to watch out. That's literally why Vladdy's not pressing a button, because he has the super available. And now it's going to kill. Super health? No. What is going? What? Okay, yeah. The threat of the super was so great, Vladdy just froze up massively.
But I love it
because that's what happens.
But that's exactly it, and that's what Happy Pal plays for. He saves the super. He holds it so often because even a character like Batman that is known for incredible neutral has to be careful. You can't throw anything. He can't do it because if the super is there, he might accidentally kill himself in the process. And that is what Happy Pal's playing around. And just having the super almost won him, you could say won him the game because Vladdy was just unable to really do anything with it.
Now, this is an incredibly back and forth game, I feel like. It's really explosive. And it's the kind of matchup I think we were expecting to see with these two guys.
Now, what's going to happen here? Oh, wow. It's a straight up cross up, Vladdy. But also Happy Pal not ready for any of it to connect, I think.
I feel like sometimes Happy Pal confirms and sometimes it's almost like it feels like he just chooses not to. There's a down 1-2 just hit there, an overhead hit, and he didn't confirm into lightning kick either way. I really wish, like, as time progresses, I'd love to see Happy Pal confirm a little bit more just to get the damage when it's guaranteed. Oh, I know he likes pressure, but
it's less confirming and more seeing the opportunity for something specific in the moment and going for it. Oh, there we go. No armor break there coming out from Vladdy. Oh, Corner carry, oh, into a nice amount of damage, almost 500 there.
Super, super clean. And there's the regular lightning kick. It's going to be match point for Happy Pal. Could be a 3-1 against Vladdy, who, you know, if he goes into the loser's bracket, has still raised his chances to getting top 8. But for now, Happy Pal looking like the man of the hour. Down 2. I think Vladdy didn't confirm that down 2 because I don't think it was going to work. He must have had to go for an up grapple or something. He was too high up.
Yeah, and there's a mistimed running man stance from Happy Pal, and Vladdy is going to be able to even the deal right now, taking away their first life bar from Happy Pal again. I like this kind of sweet spot. Oh, but goes straight into the ice. Falling positioning. No, set up. Oh, 2 lows. 3 lows. The third will connect, and the third will be confirmed. And Happy Pal getting the launch, and again, hasn't used the trait, I believe. So Vladdy, gonna get some health back here. What does he do? Spends all 4.
Wow.
Needs to guarantee health back, but Happy Pal willing to let him do it.
And the only reason he spent all 4 there was, like, he wanted 30% regardless, you know, regardless of what happened.
Well, there was no way Happy Pal was going to spend all 3, so it was very likely he'd get at least 2, but he wanted to absolutely make sure, but Happy Pal just let him do it. Oh, here we go again. The low, he went for the double low, Vlad. He's got the first, but not the second. Oh, whiff. He's approaching super territory. Uh-oh. Right, he's almost got a super.
He does, and the second he gets a super, Vladdy is not... Alright, he can't play the game anymore.
Don't throw anything. Don't throw anything. For the love of all that is holy, don't throw anything.
He can't. Like, he's too... He knows he can't do it.
He's almost got speed force.
He's been shut down. But now he's got to sit there and take grab. What do you do? Oh, no.
Oh, the masterful timing from Vladdy to let the back go right then and there. And he gets the cross up. What does Happy Pal do? No, he decides...
Yeah, he decides to go for the clash. I was about to say, like, if he doesn't clash here, we know it's going to be super.
Oh, nothing. I was saying nothing. He's not going to spend anything. He's not going to spend anything.
You madman! You madman!
Even here, IPS Online, winner side top 8 on the line. He still holds onto the bar for the super. Oh, there it is. That's it. And that is why he held it.
What was Vladdy supposed to do there? He was 1 hit away from death, and he's against a Flash that has a super available.
I mean, so there's one situation more miserable to be in than being against the enemy Flash when he's got super bar, and that's being against an enemy Flash with super on chip damage life territory. Because that move does like 4% chip, I swear, 4 or 5%, some crazy chunk on block by itself. And if you're in that situation, I mean, what is a man to do to avoid it? When it push comes to shove.
I mean, I feel like right there, nothing. There is nothing he can do. But that does mean Happy Pal is going to be getting winner's side top 8 against Vladdy 7R. I want to give you guys actually a little bit of an update. I don't know if you heard my typing or not. Obviously, we've been talking between rounds and between matches, just back end when necessary. And Mantis versus K-Top, they've done some speed tests. And due to speed test results, Mantis and K-Top are actually going to be replaying their match for winner's side top 8. It will be done off stream. Obviously, if it's on stream and it's in the King of the Hill, there's the potential chances of there being any lag in the way. We're going to just limit it, and they're just going to play off stream, and we'll feed you back the results to make it as contained as it can possibly be. Now, up next, it's going to be Shark Teeth versus Pennywise Says Hi, which should be, I believe, this should be Ivy versus Supergirl, right? And this is loser's side top 8 match, I think.
Is it not Heroes versus Derpy first? Going by the order of the games.
It's either Heroes versus Derpy or it's going to be Shark Teeth versus Pennywise. Either way,
there'll be some good games for sure. So it's either going to be Heroes versus Derpy or Shark Teeth versus Pennywise. So Superman versus Robin, presumably, or maybe even Black Adam. You know, Derpy has had he plays. I'm pretty sure it's basically just Black Adam and Robin are kind of his main characters, with a mainly Robin, but obviously he does have Black Adam ready to go. And Shark Teeth versus Pennywise is likely going to be Supergirl versus Poison Ivy. Now, Poison Ivy is one of those characters that's really in kind of the public eye right now after, obviously shout outs to Big D for his Evo performance with Ivy exclusively getting super far in the bracket and upsetting a lot of people along the way. But it really has kind of put Ivy in the spotlight. Now, as a community, we've known what Ivy is capable of for a while, as of course there do exist strong Ivy players who have been doing, they've been doing some work in the online world. Really showing the community what the character can do, especially after the numerous buffs that she has received. Because, of course, this character, it's not like she's always been amazing. The buffs have really helped her do what she can now do. But it's really seeing it at that level. And Pennywise is one of those players that has been playing her since the start, has been playing her online since the start, and has always been around in the world of ranked at the very least. So again, one of those players that online really is the comfort zone and is getting pretty far in today's bracket. Let me have a look at his pool and see what his journey has been like.
I'll let you check that path out. We're waiting for the players to join right now. And so right now, we know we have Tekken Masters in top 8 side. So we'll be seeing Tekken Master later on. Dizzy TT, you know, we're going to be seeing Dizzy. The potential of Dizzy versus Tekken Master, I do actually find very exciting because I know that they're both experienced online. I know that Dizzy, as a young player, like his absolute bread and butter was online. And the crazy thing is, when we look at these young players that are now in the scene, some of you guys in chat, I'm sure you're going to be able to relate. Those of us that started in the NRS scene with like MK9, for example, or even any of us that went even further back with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, back when that was the thing online as well. When MK9 came out, so many of us were the young generation. You know, we were 17, 18, 19, young adults, you know, young dudes that were just getting into the world of competitive games. And we started with MK9. We were the young blood, the hot new guys off the press. And then because so much has happened in such a short space of time, it's now like 7 years later. And in Injustice 2, there are now players that were like way younger than us when we started, playing in tournaments now. And it's like, what happened? We're just you and me, Mustard. We're like, oh, we're just old dudes now. Where'd the time go? Like, where'd it all go wrong?
Well, I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it?
Time is a harsh mistress.
Indeed. I'm just going to quickly get some confirmation that Heroes and Derpy will be playing on stream, as Derpy is requesting it. So give me 1 second.
True. I know Shark Teeth's in the lobby, so I believe Shark Teeth is next. That would be the next match on stream, I believe. So either way, with Shark Teeth being in the lobby, we are going to see Supergirl versus Poison Ivy, I think.
So
which isn't, again, that's not a common matchup.
Looking through the bracket, though, it actually looks like it was Shark Teeth that sent Pennywise 2 losers 3-0. So Shark Teeth has actually already won this today, at least once, and it was 3-0. So that's going to be one to watch to see if he can adjust there, because 3-0 is pretty strong, obviously. But then, how many times have we seen a match like that? You know, be 3-0, but there were 3 close games. You know, I feel like looking at the scoreline and just saying, oh, well, clearly this was a mop. Like, it's not always a fair representation of what it actually was like.
We've seen that a lot too. Like, if they are close games, it's like there are 2 types of 3-0, I think, and unfortunately, it only kind of looks like one when you look at a bracket. But we know Pennywise is good. Pennywise obviously went to Vianality and competed, so you know it's not like this is his first tournament, you know. But I do feel like Supergirl versus Ivy. I feel like Supergirl will trade favorably because of the speed of her eye lasers. Sorry, excuse me, hiccups. The speed of her eye lasers, I think, give her favorable trades. But then just little things like, you know, she has general mobility. The air dash, I think, will make quite a big difference right here as well. And then even the teleport, which you're not going to see all the time, but the threat of the teleport will always be there. So she can't just sit willy-nilly from full screen and do her full screen thing, because Supergirl does have some answers. Now, Shark Teeth, a 3-0 in the winner's bracket. Can he make it 6-0, or is Pennywise going to turn things around now? Losers brackets here, and it's way less of a lifeline to play for.
Well, the thing is, Poison Ivy, she doesn't have the greatest options against people that really kind of stay up in the air, or people that can like have amazing air options. Of course, air dash, she's not known for amazing anti-airs as Poison Ivy. You know, she's got pressure, she's got damage, she's got like, you know, staggers and whatnot, but one thing she doesn't have is anti-air options, and that's something that Supergirl really thrives if you don't have, and she can hang back and shoot those lasers down. So the few things that Poison Ivy really struggles to deal with, Supergirl can do quite well, and I think that's going to be the biggest kicker for Pennywise here.
Going in for the trait, but obviously, actually, no, sorry, the garden, I think, right there. Didn't see it, so we still have the chance to get it out. I feel like it's unfortunate. Pennywise, we're not going to have that full screen to summon trait at all, unless there's a knockdown. It's one of those matchups where, because Supergirl, one thing she never lost was full screen dominance, that she has so many options everywhere on the screen that normally where you would go like an Atrocitus or a Poison Ivy of, I'm going to go for my trait because I've got a little bit of frames to work with, Supergirl just doesn't give you that luxury.
Oh, there's the armor break.
Yep.
Of course, Ivy's meter burn back 3. I mean, the back 3 generally hers is quite strong, has a nice hitbox to it. It's quite vertical up in the air, but of course, from point blank, there's going to be armor break City, and that's going to be a nice cross up from Pennywise. Does let Shark Teeth out of the corner in the process to take the first life bar, but we'll take that trade just to take it away.
If it's somewhere you can put them, it's somewhere you can put them again. The problem is how much damage do you take? Now here comes the pressure again. Having to respect the mid, I like it. Shark Teeth, the one thing Shark Teeth does do, the problem is with Shark Teeth sometimes is that was very clean. He does play very clean. The problem is when you play clean and then drop the big combo that you've just worked very methodically to obtain, it's a lot of work for not much reward.
Now, this is a tough situation for Pennywise to be in, though. Doesn't have Clash anymore, doesn't have much bar, has the trait, but clearly the trait hasn't been making as much of a difference as you would normally like to see from an Ivy player. Just thanks to that full screen, just the lasers. I mean, look at this. Pukey can hit her, but it takes him a long time to reach those projectiles.
But that's kind of what I'm saying, that it's so far away, it may as well not work, you know, because you can see it coming, you've got air dashes, you've got everything else, like, it's a moot point. It's not a thing in the matchup, I don't think. Exception being the second you get stuck jailing, but she's so mobile, I don't think that's going to happen, and there it is, the air dash. Another one of the things that makes this matchup probably not that favorable. I would definitely see Supergirl doing well in this matchup.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much why.
I feel like in this kind of matchup, you really need to kind of like try for, I mean, even a stage, right? Like if you yourself don't have access to amazing options to get them out of the air or to track down, then considering she's a gadget character, maybe try and go for something with mobility, something that you can like leap in from full screen, like at certain situations, but there's only so much you can hope for. And even then, like, the stages are always ever going to be random. So I feel like there's only so much help you could possibly hope for. It looks like Pennywise considering changing characters, but decides not to. But the fact that he even considered it, I think, is going to be information that he's not comfortable in this matchup, considering this is now 4-0 to Shark Teeth if we're counting the winner's side.
The second you show that you're, you know, the second you're showing them that I'm thinking about changing character, kind of hits home. I'm not particularly happy with the matchup we're playing right now. And Shark Teeth, who has just now won 4 games in a row with just Supergirl and is still playing really well. If you're him, you're basically like, okay, fine, fair enough. Fine by me. Like, he's not going to have any complaints here. That's going to be another hit confirm into instant breath. And Supergirl, she's got nice little changes here and there. I know she got nerfed sort of at some point in the game's life, but I like the fact that the stuff that she was given kind of retained. Like, she still gets damage on her Frost Breath, which kind of helps her general damage. It was something that she majorly lacked before she got buffed. Where now she's just at the point where she's just a solid pick. She's not too strong, she's not too weak. I feel like she's in a great place.
But especially in this kind of matchup, right? This kind of matchup that is rough for Ivy. Like, it definitely helps, you know, regardless of how good of a character you are by your own merits. A good matchup is a good matchup. And that's what we've got right now. And Pennywise is really struggling to deal with it, as Shark Teeth is just completely doing what he wants, and even something like that. Oh, tries to air take away. Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. I think someone might have... Uh-oh. So, on our screen... unfortunately, on our screen, it looked like Shark Teeth had disconnected. I don't know which player it was. I'm sure they'll find out. But obviously, we've lost a game currently. We still has Pennywise in. That definitely didn't look like a spike to me. That looked like it just, unfortunately, disconnected.
I mean, Shark Teeth was going for a setup, and Pennywise was in the process of Meter Burn rolling out of the corner. So that definitely wasn't a manual quit. That was just a connection drop. But we did get notification that it was Shark Teeth that left. So I do wonder
guys, I have news. I mentioned that Mantis versus K-Top was to be replayed. They started the matchup again with an original score of it being 0-2 to K-Top. K-Top just needed to win one more game. Mantis ran it back 3-2. Mantis is now going to be winner's side top 8 when the rematch happened. And they ran it back. Mantis won. And that's all there is to it. We'll probably be seeing K-Top later playing in the loser side for top 8. But congrats to Mantis. We'll be seeing him later on in the bracket.
Okay, well, that does mean he's winner's side top 8. Then K-Top going to be moving down to loser's side. So we are currently waiting for information on what's happening here. Of course, you know, if players drop out and have connection issues, it is what it is something you have to deal with, especially if it's just a drop like that. I feel like when it's to the point that someone's disconnected, normally in this kind of situation, if it says that Shark Teeth was the one that left, and if it was in fact Shark Teeth that dropped out, presumably that will be a game to Pennywise, as of course it's not Pennywise's fault that Shark Teeth disconnected. Even though Shark Teeth was winning, a quit, technically a quit is a quit. If you leave the match, you lose the match. So presumably it will be 1-1 is my assumption, but we will wait for confirmation as to what it's actually going to be. But we'll find out soon. As I mean, already what we're seeing is this looks rough for Poison Ivy. I think there really is no two ways about it. Obviously, Shark Teeth is a phenomenal player, and I'm not saying it's all down to the matchup, but he's playing it well, and he clearly understands how to really make this a problem. Because we know Pennywise is no slouch when it comes to Ivy, and considered changing characters after the first loss. So I think it's safe to say this is a tough matchup for Ivy, and Shark Teeth is kind of showing us why at the moment.
Yeah, well, currently there's not really much we can do while we wait. Admin behind the scenes are just looking into it. They're finding out what's going on with Shark Teeth, and when they find out what's happening, they're going to bring him back into the lobby as soon as physically possible. I assume, this is just 100% assumptions here, but seeing as we know that Shark Teeth and Tekken Master have traveled to, I believe they're in Turkey. They've traveled to an eligible location. For those that have just joined us here, Shark Teeth just joined back in, so we're going to run it back. We'll find out what's happening with the score. I don't know if the disconnect has meant that maybe Shark Teeth has given up a game or whether they're just going to run it back. We'll find out. But like I was saying, right, so we know that Shark Teeth and Tekken Master have been flown to Turkey just for this online cup. So that's dedication as a player. Both players understanding how important it is that they get points, because they both have a decent amount of points and they both actually have a shot at placing, especially if they go to future tournaments. And maybe even that last chance qualifier which was announced, that's the thing. East Coast Throwdown is going to be the tournament to attend if you don't have a lot of points but still want a chance of playing. That's pretty much where you have to go, especially if these online cups don't go in your favor.
Indeed. But that is a story for a later date, as we're now going into losers bracket action. The loser of this, I believe, is going to be making top 8. Let me quickly check these brackets to make sure.
All right, guys, it's now going to be 1-1 Shark Teeth because of the disconnect. He has given up a game to Pennywise, so it's now going to be 1-1. We're going to reset things as normal. That's actually going to be something. I think Pennywise, to be honest with you, I think he'll take that, because this is clearly a matchup that Shark Teeth is doing better in.
I mean, it's definitely helped him. He was losing the game that we got the DC in.
Not to sound disrespectful, obviously. Not to sound disrespectful. Genuinely, that is.
Of course,
that is the situation.
That is, yeah, of course. But regardless, that is going to be 1-1. The winner of this is going to be making top 8 on the loser's side. So there's still all to play for. If Pennywise can turn this around, but that is going to be what he needs for sure. Oh, there's that last minute cross up. Super ambiguous. They got hit by that too.
And that's
Give us a 1 in chat if you got hit by that.
That's what I really
once.
That's one thing I really like about Shark Teeth, though, is just his setup game is off the chain when it comes to Supergirl stuff.
Well, I feel like a lot of it is last minute cross up, but he's so good at making it look like it's not going to cross up that it's almost like a nah, definitely not. It's definitely not gonna happen. It's like cross up again. This time it was blocked.
Nice sweep. It's gonna get rid of Pukey Boy. Ooh,
no
trash can.
Yeah, garbage.
This is a very favorable matchup for Shark Teeth, I think. Not to discredit Pennywise in any way, or even discredit Shark Teeth in that respect. He has a deep understanding of this matchup. Like, clearly, he's going for some sort of matchup-specific things. He's counter-zoning, completely not allowing Pennywise to play Ivy's game full screen. And if you shut that down, she becomes very limited. Her full screen game, when it works, is great. But if she can't do it, she almost loses her place in the game, I think. Her place is annoying zoning, interesting setup, and pressure when the trait's out. If there's a character that shuts that down, this character can no longer function.
I mean, we're already seeing, right, even though Shark Teeth is winning, he's spending a lot of this game, unless he's got Pennywise in the corner, just full screen, or even this kind of long range. Oh, and there's the instant jump in. The moment Pennywise goes for one of those vine drills, Shark Teeth with that straight away air dash into a full punish. Very unfortunate for Pennywise, but Shark Teeth looking good. Yep, tying it up, not getting them get any health back at all.
Being forced to spend a lot of resources just to not die, that's the unfortunate thing here. When the clash is used not to gain advantage, but to not lose huge advantage, that's the kind of clash you never want to take. But sometimes it's not your choice. 4-3, lots of respect. Shark Teeth will take those grabs all day, every day at this point, especially with the health that he's got left.
I mean, look at how difficult this is going to be. They're already seeing Shark Teeth. It's just chipping one by one with these lasers. There is that space above that Poison Ivy, especially without trait, just cannot cover. And if he goes for a trait call at a bad time and needs a laser, then the trait is gone. And in this life, Pennywise really can't afford to let that happen. That could have been a combo from Shark Teeth, but even then, look at the life. What can he do about this?
Borrowed time at this point. Is Shark Teeth even going to lose that first health bar? At this point, I'm not so sure. Oh, wow! With 2 of the charges. Hell yeah, I like that one. 2-1 currently for Shark Teeth.
Well, we did see Pennywise consider going to Black Manta before, this will be his last opportunity to do so. Clearly, that was a closer match at the start, but very quickly kind of like spiraled out into more of the same. I think Shark Teeth kind of just playing that long-range game, really kind of denying Pennywise any opportunity to really get anything going. I feel like it really is reliant on Shark Teeth having the life lead, though. So maybe if Pennywise can have a better start, perhaps, and not give him so much real estate, health-wise, perhaps it could be different. But it's going to be tough regardless. There's no two ways about that.
Well, off the back of that, it's now going to be 2-1. Shark Teeth kind of really needs this win. Obviously, losing to Dizzy TT in the winners. Not a dominant matchup. That was a matchup that Shark Teeth definitely could have won. It came down to a couple of unfortunate drops. Haven't really seen the same manner of drops now. And this is going to be big Supergirl damage. And yep, I like that you don't even need to use the meter burn laser. Some Supergirl players, they'd use the meter burn laser there just to go for the highest damage possible. Shark Teeth is going to be content with 540 into keeping the trait and setup that comes afterwards. A great amount of calculation.
But there's unblockable interactable, just putting this life lead stronger and stronger in Shark Teeth's favor. I mean, Pennywise, tries to cancel another air dash, but not going to fall for it this time.
Just a little bit low off the ground. That's why I think didn't quite get the button.
I feel like Shark Teeth as, and reaction. What a reaction to that 4-3, and Shark Teeth moving on with a confident match point. 1 life bar away from making top 8 in the loser side.
This is dangerous territory. If you are Shark Teeth, if you're Tekken Master, if you have the power, if you're Mantis, you got to get top 8 minimum in this tournament. Like, there is no room for error. You got to get top 8, and then you have to try and get as much points. That link, get the tight link. I actually quite like that, because that's tricky.
Oh, down 2!
The disrespect! Get out of here, mate.
I love that choice from Shark Teeth. Like, literally, the second Pennywise finally found any shred of momentum, immediate down 2 challenge. That's going to be the life bar, though, for Pennywise. Now, this is the first good break that Pennywise has made for himself so far. I feel like if he can get a nice amount of damage here, just keep him in the corner. Above all else, keep him in the corner. Do not let Shark Teeth out of here. He doesn't have the bar either. He can't afford to clash.
Not good news. And even with the 1 bar, he can't clash because he hasn't got enough to win. Shark Teeth can just say nothing. Okay, there's the clash. Shark Teeth using his clash more of just, I'm going to reset that read. You've got to make a couple of more good decisions now.
I mean, Pennywise had to spend his 1 and only bar of meter just to stop Shark Teeth from generating. So deciding not to, that was a lose-lose situation. Either spend your only bar and deny a bit of health, perhaps, or spend nothing and let him get plenty back. And there it is. Pukey's out, so we see him in the air. All he's got to worry about is Pukey, because the Vine Drill isn't going to hit him. Forward 3's not going to hit him. The jump-ins can't reach. There's a better turnaround for Pennywise, though. And he's losing, but this is closer than it has been. He's almost got Pukey back.
I feel like this is still a bleak situation. Pennywise is going to have access to clash, but right now Shark Teeth is doing so many little hits here and there. Like, this is going to be unclashable. Like, you're not going to have the option, and that's going to do even more damage because the background interaction is right behind. And he is going to get back towards the mid-screen, so he's going to be away from the corner and have access to some more if he needs to. Yep, that delay wake up. The second Pennywise delayed his wake up there. His fate was sealed. And that is going to be it. Shark Teeth going to be moving through to loser's side top 8 in a strong fashion. Very good stuff from him, to be honest with you. I think it's like I've said many times, there's the running theme of this stream is going to be pretty much that they need as much points as they can get, right? Like, there are 4 players. Actually 5, I think, Dizzy included. You've got Happy Pow, you've got Mantis, you've got Tekken Master, you've got Shark Teeth, and you've got Dizzy TT. All of these players in Europe actually have a decent chunk of points where winning this cup could very well be the difference between making IPS finals and not making IPS finals. So the second you see them in top 8, it's like, brilliant. This is the start for them. The real tournament for these guys begins once they go into top 8, and then they basically have to knock each other out. But with how things are going, like, we know Dizzy's in there, we know Happy Pal's in there, we now know Mantis is there. Actually, all 5 of these players that need top 8 are now in top 8. So when this top 8 begins, it's going to be the 8-man tournament of who of these players is going to be in a good situation to make finals at last. That's basically what we're about to see.
It's going to be tough, and it's going to be hard to watch, I'll be honest, because it's
every loss will matter.
Knowing how much these players need it, and some of them making top 8 on the loser side, just you know it is so crucial for them to do well. And even then, like, there are American players on the the lower end of the IPS finals leaderboard right now that they need certain players in this top 8 to do bad. So their position in the leaderboard is stronger. So there's gonna be a lot of stressed eyes watching this top 8 later on.
I'm gonna actually look at the current standings to see where our highest placing players are and how far behind or in front some of the American players are to them, because this is actually going to be really interesting to talk about. Is you mentioned players that are going to be watching this top 8 very nervously, looking at a player and being like, with no disrespect intended, the #1 hater. Like, you're going to watch this player and go, lose, please lose. Don't do that combo. Drop this, drop that. They're going to lose a game. It's going to be yes, because they need that to. That is their chance. Yeah, that is how it's going to become easier for them. But yeah, let's look at the standings. So of all of our European players, it's pretty much players that they're all kind of like slightly on the lower end. We know it's the top 12 players that make it through on points alone. Currently, the player that has the most points is currently Tekken Master. So if Tekken Master wins this online cup, it's going to be he has the best chance. You know, if Tekken Master wins this tournament, he by far is going into this bracket with the best chance of making finals. And then underneath him, just underneath, between Big D and Gunshow, Gunshow is tied with Irish Mantis. So Mantis pretty much needs to win this tournament as well. Happy Pal is 5 points behind Irish Mantis, according to the online standings. I know some of them might be changed depending on recent results, but we'll just go with it for the online standings for now, the one on the website. Happy Pal and Mantis are right behind each other. And then Shark Teeth is pretty low down. He's on 21. So Shark Teeth winning this tournament would put him immediately into the top 12 if Shark Teeth wins this event. And then Dizzy TT, currently sitting there with 25 points, means that if he wins this cup as well, he goes into 125, which instantly ties him with Silver Eye, which will then knock Tekken Master slightly out. Tekken Master, though, by getting top 8, I believe he's going to have points as well. So if Dizzy wins this, it's not going to be over for him. I believe he's still going to have to go to an SCR or last chance qualifier at ECT, and that will be his standing as well. There's a lot going on here, man. There's a lot of storylines and there's a lot of potentials. But either way, if you're one of these guys, win the tournament and you're all right, basically. That's the gist.
A quick update for you lovely folks at home. We are currently waiting in the lobby for Derpy versus Heroes for another losers side top 8 match. But an update to some other games. To avoid similar connection issues we had before, K-Top versus AWP, which I believe is a losers side top 8 qualifier. It is K-Top and AWP. They are playing their match off stream to avoid any connection issues. So we will not be watching that match, but it is going to be going underway, and we'll update you with the score as soon as we have it, just to avoid similar problems that we had before with K-Top and Irish Mantis, just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. So they'll be playing their match off stream, which does mean, I believe, that this actually should be our last loser side top 8. No, not quite, because we do actually have Do Basic and Trekker Master have to play, and the winner of that will fight Vladi for loser side top 8. So we're very close to figuring out our top 8. As a quick update, we have winners side top 8 is Tekken Master, Irish Mantis, Happy Pal, and Dizzy TT. And loser side, we have qualified so far. We have Shark Teeth just qualified. AWP K-Top are playing currently, and we'll update that score soon. We're waiting on Vladdy's match, and we will soon be starting Heroes versus Derpy. So we're very much getting to the crucial, critical point in this tournament to find out who is getting where and what the points are going to look like.
I'm excited for the top 8. You know, we've just gone over like what some of the points mean and how a lot of our European players, with the exception of basically if Tekken Master, Happy Pal, or Mantis wins here, the two best chance players here, or the highest chance, will be if Mantis or Tekken Master win. And everyone else, winning is almost like, I think, mandatory. I don't know if Happy Pal can attend other tournaments, so I'm not sure how much of chance Happy Pal is actually going to have. Because obviously, if Happy Pal doesn't make it, if he wins this and can't attend either last chance qualifier or SCR, he might not have a chance because of basically his competition will be at those events, and his competition to be that high up anyway are probably going to place highly to overtake him regardless. Tekken Master, I would assume we'll see at one of the two. We'll see him at either last chance qualifier or SCR. Part of me wonders if the online cup has a bearing in that. If Tekken Master or Shark Teeth does bad or not as well as they need to in online, I wonder if it was don't send them to SCR and send them to last chance qualifier. But even then, last chance is you have to win. So it's, do you bet yourself in this position? The question is, and these are the hard choices you have to make. as a competitor when you're this late in a league is, do I go to SCR where there's going to be more players plus players that have already made it and they're going to be in the bracket? So it's going to be a really hard tournament and you have to get minimum top 8. And then in the top 8, get more there too. So you've got to have like the tournament of your life at SCR. Or do you go to last chance qualifier, which has a risk of being easier, quote unquote, because we might not see some of the same players go to last chance qualifier, but you have to win that tournament. It's like they are two impossible feats, but if you get either one, you are 100% deserving of being in the IPS finals. That is why you are there. Because the IPS finals, it's going to be like, you have to be like the champion of champions to win that tournament. So it's a graft, man. This is a grind. But here we go. I believe we've got our next match loaded up, which is Heroes versus Derpy.
But that's the thing, right? It's the Injustice Pro Series, not the Injustice, enter if you feel like it series. This at this point in the competition, it is supposed to be the serious players, right? The world contenders, the best of the best, who have put in the close to like year and a half of effort at this point to getting to this level of play. And some of them are sponsored, some of them they send themselves, they save money trying to attend as much as they can, or they enter every online activation that they can because they want to play, they want to be the best, and that's the kind of tough decisions they have to make. But it is going to be Derpy versus Heroes NZ to find out who will be going into loser's side top 8 here. Derpy did lose to Tekken Master before with, I'll be honest, looking a little bit shaky, a little bit rough around the edges, but the fact that he's got this far means that obviously he is, it has managed to keep it together somewhat to get back to this point in the competition.
Interesting matchup. I know that Derpy actually plays both of these characters. He did play Superman at the beginning, but Robin is his favorite. Now he feels confident enough in Robin that he can play, and that's another combo drop. I do strongly wonder if big-time tournament nerves, or maybe it's just a fear of playing on stream, but the second Derpy's on stream, he drops a lot of combos that we know he just never drops. Empty jump just in case he goes for the forward too. Oh, Derpy freezing up a little bit on the offense, I feel.
I don't think he's freezing up. I think he's just being a bit hesitant to whiff punish, because obviously if you mess up your whiff punish, you just get forward to by Superman, especially Heroes. That's what he's doing. But there's a whiff punish. Goes to the setup, delaying into the grab. Heroes respecting the plus frames, squeeze opportunities for damage here. Ooh, I like that. Just immediate wake up here. I think Heroes expected the trait from Robin.
On that tracking. Good trade. Just sit there on block. Allow the Batarang to do the rest. Good choice.
Oh, Heroes trying to jump out. Oh, the wake up.
Okay, here we go. We're going to get knocked down again. This is why not dropping your combos as Robin is like, I know that's like, hey, yeah, speaking the obvious, but with Robin, it really is a big deal. Because that Batarang that you call, you have to call it. And it either, you sit there and block it on wake up and it gives him his turn, he hasn't got to work for it again, or it forces a delayed wake up. And if it forces a delayed wake up, Robin still gets to pressure you. Like it's one of those things that it's like mandatory to make sure that Robin doesn't have to drop the combo and then try and catch you again, which can be kind of hard against someone like Superman.
Indeed, but that's going to be one of those things that, but you're going to need to hit your combo in order for that to happen, right? If you drop it, you don't get the setup, you don't get the knockdown. But it's one of those things, right? It's like, I think your wording before, really calling it out is true, because if you get hit by Robin, it's, do I delay my wake up and give him guaranteed chip damage and maybe some more plus frames, or do I wake up and have him block it and punish me? Because if he goes to the Batarang and presses a button and you wake up's going to win, of course, but it forces you to make that decision. You don't get the luxury of waiting. As soon as you get knocked down, the Batarang's out. It's okay, well, it's time for me to make a read. And someone like Derpy that has been playing as long as he has, and is going to know how to really make a read on what you're going to be doing, right? It's very. I suppose he's a very kind of thinking man's character when it comes to setup.
Now, speaking of setup in this matchup, Heroes has been unable with punishes the dash punch, but with no bar, Robin can't really get a huge confirm. And now that very slow, methodical game. Derpy's not afraid to play methodical. He's one of those players that's had quite a steady climb in the UK fighting game scene. I remember Derpy, he was new to competitive fighting games with Mortal Kombat X was his first game, and went in a lot harder on Injustice 2, where he kind of went into MKX as a casual fan to the game and learned as a fan of the franchise. And Injustice 2 went into this game actually as someone, that looked like an execution error for me.
I think he was expecting to go to the other side, but
no.
Obviously, Hero's not showing a huge amount of matchup knowledge here. I'm not seeing him interrupt that 2-1-2 at all. Of course, one of those main Robin strings does have a huge gap in the middle of it. Especially Superman can get through. I wonder if he might even be able to just 4-2 out of it, to be honest.
And he tried to backdash a wake up against the Batarang, which I believe that's actually a guaranteed hit. It does chase it down pretty significantly, so... You mentioned a little bit of knowledge. I wonder if he probably has knowledge because Robin's a common character, but I think in this setting, I feel like he's almost like... He's like squirming on defense. He's doing things that I'm not convinced Heroes normally defends like this.
That's 3 attempts to get through the gap in it, but 3 times he's taking some damage for it. Oh, interesting. I'll say here, Derpy looking like he is in complete control here. Just unable to let Heroes get any damage aside from chip damage on lasers, and that's not going to be enough to even things out. Uh-oh.
Down 2. Clean down 2 punish. Forcing the clash. This is going to be a clash the Heroes is going to win, but again, he's so far behind. It's like one of those, I clash just to not die, not to get advantage.
I mean, 30% is not a bad amount. Like, even though the life deficit looks bad, it's still Superman. If he can get a good hit, he can even things out, but it will be tough for sure. Oh, whiff punish. Wow, I'm actually really surprised that was late. It looked like it was timed right, but I guess not.
I think Derpy tried to meter burn forward 3, what he thought was a forward 2-3, but because it was a single button, he'd reacted to the button, not what the button was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he just reacted to something. Not a specific thing.
Very slow game again, but it's going to be in Derpy's favor. Very comfortable down. 1-2. What side? He mixed himself up. Oh, the chase down. That's just a straight up reset. Guaranteed combo.
I mean, how much damage was that? That was like 400 into a guaranteed 340. And that was like just what he had left. It would have gone even beyond. That was like a 600-700 damage reset maybe. But still though, Derpy is going to be happy with that one. That's a 2-0 lead as he is looking super strong.
Well, I feel like if Derpy can pull this win off, I think he's got a good matchup. Not because of Heroes, it's more the character. I think Superman is a character that Derpy is just really, really confident against.
Well, it's going to be Gotham City for the last one anyway. But it's like you said, right? I think the comfort comes from the fact that Derpy, he played Superman. It was like his first main in the game. Or, you know, at least a character he's played a lot of at the very least. So he's going to be aware of it. And I feel like Robin has good options for, like, the jump heavy just to shut down air lasers from a large distance. Good damage. Superman's wake-up game is not the best, let's be honest. So having the access to the Robin-style setup will really help him.
Good block on the overhead, but there's the immediate detonation. Really sort of letting Derpy be in control, and Heroes just... I feel like now he's trying to respect on Wake Up. He's now getting grabbed for days. Injustice 1 says hello. And that is such a classic use of armor through Unblockable. Like, that's been a thing since day 1 in 2013.
Indeed. Oh, again, there we go. Finally managing to interrupt the gap. And Heroes will find the option, and there's another 260 damage for it. It's so important to shut that down in this matchup.
Jump. Oh, there it is. Finally, the interrupt. I wonder if he's been trying to do that the whole time and he's only just got it now. Or whether in between those games he's realized that's actually an option. And he's almost like remembered it, you know? Oh! Watch out. Oh, the jump in.
I mean, it's just the hitbox and those Robin jump normals. So strong.
There's the cross-up. I feel like Derpy deliberately ended that combo because he didn't want Heroes to be the other side. He wanted to just sacrifice damage, and the fact he's got... This is it. This is why he's probably going to win this and move on. Because he's had him in the corner, and the corner is the position he needs.
Well, that's going to be the life bar for Heroes. I mean, he is Superman. He's got 2 bars, but no trait. Oh, but the down 1-2. Enter a staggered grab, but no detect. Heroes is so close to the end here. The trade. There's a chance. Oh, wow. Interesting, really.
I'm out of here, man.
All right, see you later, Derpy. Let's watch a movie.
Oh my god. Well. Derpy moves on. Instant Batarang into a full screen assassin strike. Like, my man Robin ran a marathon for that one.
He did, but that's going to be a comfortable 3-0 for Derpy. Of course, Heroes getting close to top 8, but not meant to be today. I mean, it's going to be Derpy moving forward. You know, Derpy's going to be happy with that, though, for sure. Derpy has kind of self-admitted tournament nerves and I suppose an unfortunate choke factor that you really can't deny at this point. However, this kind of consistency is what he's going to need moving forward. I think, take this victory, this top 8 placing, and beyond. We'll have to wait and see who he'll have to fight in the top 8 to see if he can continue. But if he can play that solid, then I have no doubt we can see some cool things from him. That does mean we have another member of our loser side top 8 locked in, which does mean that we also have an update that I believe AWP defeated K-Top 3-0 off stream in their losers match.
That's
I'm just going to get some Gary. I'm just going to get some confirmation on that.
I saw it in chat, but I don't know. I assume it was legit. By the way, I know it's AWP, but some people say AWP, some people say AWP. I say AWP. No one's ever said say it differently. AWP himself has never said, "Hey guys, my name's
I've
AWP."
never heard it. I've never heard it pronounced any other way aside from AWP. Is it actually supposed to be AWP?
I don't know. I know euphemisms called him AWP.
I mean, AWP's he's in the chat. If you're in the
AWP,
chat,
how do I say your name?
How do we say your name? We'll get it from you, and then that will be that for the rest of
Either
time.
is fine.
Either is that doesn't help. That doesn't help. I'll say it. That doesn't help matters. We need a decisive, just inarguable decision made here. What does the man himself want it to be pronounced as? He has to make a decision.
We're gonna put you on the spot. This is where we begin. This is where the legacy is made, and your name from here on out will be said one way and one way only. Everyone else, some people see AWP. I see AWP. That's what we need to know.
Well, we've seen it in chat. It says AWP himself, so AWP is what it will be moving forward. Thank you very much. But I do believe that's going to be.
That's our top 8, isn't it? That should be our top 8 set in stone. Because we had. We have one more matchup. We have one more matchup.
We do have. We do have. I believe it's Trekker Master versus Vladdy 7R. So let's see how that loses.
Vladdy versus Trekker. That's actually pretty crazy that I wasn't sure what to make of Trekker Master gameplay wise.
He defeated Do Basic 3-1 to get here.
Wow, he had a hard opponent in Happy Pal. That is not an easy opponent to play at all. But that said, he has another hard opponent in Vladdy 7R. So he's gone at him. He has gone at him now. It was, I believe, Green Arrow versus Happy Pal. So we've seen immediately that Trekker Master knows how to play some different characters. We'll see how it works. We'll see if it's going to be enough. I see you, Hayate, in the chat. How's it going, bro? Speaking of Robin.
So that is confirmation. 3-0 AWP over K-Top. That doesn't mean that AWP is going to be making it into loser side top 8 later as well. So this is our last top 8 qualifying match. It's going to be Trekker Master versus Vladdy 7R. We haven't seen Vladdy in a while. Trekker Master, this is the first time we've seen him compete. That's looking good.
Now we do get that meterless launch in the corner. Vladdy unfortunately does the down 2 into Harpoon, but I think it might have been a little bit too late. Either way, we get a reset regardless. We spend all 3 bats. And again, 2 combos in a row, Vladdy has dropped both of them. Against Atom, you just can't do that. I know that's like, speaking the obvious right there, but he is such a slippery character, you have to confirm. You have to mix. As Batman, you've got to set him up. You can't let him move around. All right, here's the mix up. And it misses again. He's so small. It's because he's so small, I think.
I mean, I'm assuming so, but I wasn't expecting to see it miss like that. I think there's a stomp. Oh, that stomp just got him hit for free. Trekker Master is just leaving himself way too punishable at the moment.
That combo was so clean. That was a Vladdy 7R combo. I remember seeing him do those in the beta days.
Well, that's it, right? That goes to show how long Vladdy has been playing Injustice 2 Batman. I believe he was the player that he racked up the most games, like the most matches played in the beta for Injustice 2.
Yeah, Vladdy, of all the players in the Injustice 2 online beta, Vladdy had the most hours logged and the most games played. This guy went in really hard back when the game was new. Oh, he's looking good now. Trekker Master having a hard time working around this, not really able to enforce his game. And it comes down to, when Batman lands a hit, if you can keep that pain train rolling, Batman doesn't let you move. Atom thrives on mobility, and if you shut that mobility down with guaranteed vortex, guaranteed mix-ups, freestands, it's a great answer to have. We saw something very similar when it was it Foxy's Batman versus, I think, XZ's playing Atom at Vianality. It was the same thing.
That was the matchup.
Oh, he is thrown in the towel. He's going, kill my character, please. I would like to change.
But that's it, right? Atom really is one of those characters that is supremely hard to pin down. Like, super obnoxious, and that's the way he's built around, right? He's supposed to low profile. He's supposed to be He's supposed to be a complete nuisance. But if you're playing Batman and you keep him blocking forever, or every time you hit him, it's a vortex, Atom has to deal with that the same way that everyone else does. It wasn't meant to be. But who does Tracker Master go to? We have seen Green Arrow used to counter Batman in the past. But do we think that Tracker Master will... Because we've seen he's played Green Arrow before, but do you think it's up to scratch to do what it needs to do? Because Vladdy's Batman is clearly quite a powerhouse to deal with.
We've seen Green Arrow do well versus Batman in the past, and funny enough, this guy's called Tracker Master. Tekken Master last year used Green Arrow as his answer to Batman and did very well against basically every Batman. I believe he even used the same matchup against Forever King's Batman at the IPS finals, that crazy war of counterpicks they played against each other. I think Green Arrow was the character he used against Batman, and it forced a different character pick from King. Memory fails me from now. I can't remember who he picked, but yeah, there it is. He's going to go Green Arrow. Wonder if it's enough.
Well, it's only 1-0, so he does still have one extra game to work around with if he needs it. But, he's ideally not going to be looking for that. He's going to want this pick to make sense. And we've seen him play Green Arrow before, albeit it wasn't very successful in the match that we saw, but he still managed to get this far by defeating Do Basic. So clearly Tracker Master has come to play, but Vladdy is looking like he's just on another level at the moment, unless he can catch up.
But this is the Vladdy that we know. This is the Vladdy that we know he's capable of playing really well in a tournament setting. And again, it really is coming down. The big thing we talk about Vladdy in this game is experience. He has played nothing but Batman for close to... Well, no, not even close to. As long as Injustice 2 has been playable in the world, Vladdy has been playing, and he's been playing only Batman. Like, this is... If there's a Batman player you don't want to fight, it's someone with this much time logged in the game.
Indeed, but slowly but surely he is walking Tracker Master to the corner here, and that's somewhere that Green Arrow, just the Savage Blast, no longer helps him on the defense, and already he finds himself here.
Well, Vladdy kind of reminds me of he's like a CIS version of Forever King. Loves Injustice, plays the game all the time, Batman specialist. Like, they really are in a very similar kind of archetype in the game.
Indeed. I think that is a fair comparison in the sense that, it's two very knowledgeable players that they really go with their gut a lot of the time, but it's not, complete insanity. It's just very clean Batman.
It's calculated, gutsy play.
Yeah. He doesn't have any bar. It's quite uncommon that you see Batman without resources to spend, but here we are. One bar ready to go.
Can't throw the Batarangs full screen because you're obviously going to go and trade negatively against those flame arrows, and air teching and getting hit at the same time, just throwing away 2 bars of meter. That's the worst time to get caught air teching. Because you as the player, you acknowledge that immediately, like, oh no. You know exactly what's just happened.
Now where's that sleeping?
Going in for be the first life bar anyway. Indeed. These fire arrows. I mean, they really are Tracker Master's main defense against this Batman, Vladdy. And there it is. The interaction just to get away. You mean the distance is what he needs just to keep Batman away. That is the goal. Oh, the trade. A good trade for Tracker Master.
Here we go. Oh, nice dash.
Combo.
And then, the read! The read. Get back here, mate.
Oh, no. Another drop. That could have been the game. Tracker Master doesn't have a clash anymore.
Has Vladdy ever landed that? I feel like I'm yet to see him land that restand. There we go. We get one. But...
You were saying
no. I mean down 2. I mean late down 2.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I just if I don't roast it, it's a wasted opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got to take the opportunity as they come, man. They don't come easy.
The host that boasts the most roast.
That is you.
Indeed. But that does mean we are 2-0 up now for Vladdy. A much closer game. I think that matchup was a lot more sensible for Tracker Master. I would like to see him stick with it. Out of all the characters I've seen him play so far, it's probably the one that makes most sense, but it looks like he's considering other options, maybe.
Right. He's thinking about it. He tried Green Arrow, but it didn't... I don't feel like Green Arrow did much against Happy Pal. Obviously, this is a different matchup. But
I'm pretty sure we saw his Green Lantern as well against Happy Pal.
Yeah, we did. It was I think Green Arrow first, and then when he lost, he swapped to Green Lantern halfway through.
Well, this is going to be the character he sticks with for the rest of the match anyway, as of course this is he's 2-0 down. He's going to have to win 3 in a row now to be able to win this one. Vladdy would be very surprised to see him ever go off Batman, and there's that last-minute dive kick. Tracker Master sticking out a button. I think he tried to anti-air. There's that jump in. Doesn't have the bats for a legitimate vortex. We just take a ambiguous jump in instead.
Vladdy's a lot more partial to using those bats he gets at the beginning of the round to secure first hit. And then when he lands first hit, he then tries to go for meterless traitless resets. That's definitely not the first time we've seen him go for that. Here's the reset. Okay, going in for the bat vortex. Oh, gets hit in front. Which side's it going to go? And you cannot air escape. Could have been a round over, drops the combo, but Trekker Master not ready for the conversion, unfortunately. Could have been a turnaround, but he didn't take what was given to him.
I feel like we are yet to see an air escape that wasn't punished by Vladdy. I feel like Vladdy is just ready for every single one of them. And this is going to bring him onto match point. 1 life bar away from making top 8 on the loser side as our final qualified member of top 8. But Trekker Master, he has his work cut out for him. He's now on the offense. He's got an opportunity here. But what can he do? The whiff, but doesn't finish the string. Oh, the backdash tries to press a button, but Trekker Master still getting opportunity. Oh, that cross up, the dirty stuff.
That's the classic Green Lantern drops. Is that a combo or a reset? That looked a bit too, that looked too deliberate to be a combo drop.
Oh, Vladdy disrespects the second loop. Trekker Master wasn't expecting it, and another dive kick.
Okay, here we go. He just releases the whole lot just to get a jump in.
Do you think we're going to see a 2-bar for 2 trade? Does he let him get it? Oh, 1. He's going to take away a decent amount of life regeneration.
Wow.
Hammer fist.
Snap. We both watched too much William Shatner.
Oh.
Oh. Watch out for the reset.
Again.
Yeah.
Plus frames being respected by Trekker, but how long for? Plus frames end. Tags the low. Opportunity for Trekker Master. No! No!
Oh, we get a nice
No!
action shot of the ground pound. Oh, he gets, there we go. He's got it. Who knows?
That was like the most unfortunate lag spike I have ever seen. All the lane to grab. Trekker Master, he's got a chance here. Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a reason we haven't really been seeing the projectiles from Green Lantern here. I think he just doesn't want to trade. And the second Vladdy goes for a hard read into a grappling hook and he lands it.
Oh,
Look
no!
at the bar. Trekker Master cannot fight back. He's not got a clash and he has
Vortex.
Like, oh no. If he guesses wrong here, he's dead.
No,
it's over.
He didn't Vortex, he just enforced the back 2 mix up.
There it is. Game over. Expecting a air escape, but not today. My god. Whoa, there it is. That felt like, for me, the game end there really felt like he was expecting a clash, which obviously he did the clash way earlier, and then he was expecting air escape, air escape, air escape, and at no point did Trekker Master do it because I think he was expecting Vladdy to expect it. So in many cases, Vladdy literally just kept sitting there doing nothing, and then at the end he was like, well, I've done so much damage, I'll just take it, and he just moves on. Well, now we're going to see Vladdy get top 8. Good stuff from him. Nice to see him back playing again. We really haven't seen a huge amount of Vladdy in a competitive setting because a lot of these CIS players don't get a chance to compete much. So It's great to see him back, and we'll see him later.
Yes, indeed. And that does mean that we are 100% finalized and locked in for our top 8 for this cup, which means that we are now in IPS point territory. The question is now, every placement matters. So many of our top 8. Excuse me for 1 second. I appear to have a frog in my throat.
The transition of the voice.
Indeed. But so many of our top 8 confirmed players, they need these points desperately. And a lot of them have made it. So winner's side, we have Tekken Master, Irish Mantis, Happy Pal, and Dizzy TT. And down on the loser side, we have a Derpy, Orp, Vladdy 7R, and Shark Teeth. So I think looking at who registered and who checked in today, that's probably the best, most fitting top 8 I think we could have asked for. I think it's safe to say. I think this is a really diverse top 8. We have some good character variety, different regions of Europe represented, and I'm thoroughly excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I am too. It's vital. The situation we are now in with these players basically means that everyone here needs to win if they want a chance at making finals, with the exception of the last chance qualifier. But not every single one of these players can actually make it to the last chance qualifier. That's the thing. So with the current circumstances, you know, whoever wins here is going to be in a better situation. I think Tekken Master and Mantis are the 2 European players in this bracket that have the best chance at making finals if they win this cup. Tekken Master, I think he has a higher chance of being able to attend more tournaments due to his sponsor. Mantis is not a sponsored player, so obviously everything he went to was self-funded, which means he obviously cannot attend as many tournaments. A European player traveling to America regularly is a very expensive deal, which is why this online cup was so important to so many of them. So if Mantis wins this, he still has a chance. I think, if I'm correct, I think he still has somewhat of a chance, but he has to win. Happy Pal, the same, although he's slightly behind Mantis and cannot, I believe, attend the other two unless he can somehow acquire the funds to go to SCR, I believe. Shark Teeth, sharing a sponsor, so he has a similar position, I believe, to Tekken Master. But again, Shark Teeth, he's pretty low on points compared to Tekken Master. He has to win here. Like, he straight up just needs to win. And Dizzy TT, same situation. Dizzy has to win this tournament. Otherwise, even traveling is going to be hard.
So that does mean our top 8 is locked in and ready to go, but it does also mean that we are going to go for a temporary break while we get the top 8 ready to go and get started, and also fix some of the audio issues we've been having. So thanks very much for watching so far, everyone, but please make sure you stick around, as very soon we will be coming back with the top 8 for this IPS EU Online Cup, where we will be joining you once again to get this finished and see what European players will have a better chance at making the finals. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.